Hello, welcome to the streams. Hi, I'm Icarus, and these are the streams. Welcome back. So today we will be doing Final Family Fantasy Funtime 14, or as we call it. This is where Epsilon, my cousin, and I go through Final Fantasy 14 together. He's in chat. Hi, Epsilon. I'll see you in a second. We're basically going through Shadowbringers. It is the third expansion. One, two, three. Yeah, third. We're kind of. I looked up. I didn't look up like spoilers, but I looked up the number of MSQ quests, the main story quests, and we're about halfway. We're about Epsilon. If you want to know, we're about half, a little more than half through this. So we're about halfway through Shadowbringers. If you have not seen Final Fantasy 14's story up to this point, I actually do recommend it. I think it's very good. It's the reason we're playing. If you want to see it on your own, I think everything through Heavensward, the first expansion, the main game first expansion, is free. So have fun. Go ahead and download it if you like. I do think it's good. And the whole thing's good, but we will be spoiling everything up to this point. We defeated the third Lightbringer, for anyone who knows what that is, and that means that anything up to this point is fair game for us to talk about. Anything past this point, please do not talk about. We do not want to be spoiled. The story is the reason we play this thing, as anyone who knows, and we really want to see it through to the end. And thus 300 hours until sweet release from. We do not hate the game. I don't like tab target combat. Epsilon doesn't like tab target combat. There are other games that do combat better in so many more ways. We were talking about combat for the stupid phone game that I'm playing recently, actually yesterday whenever we hung out, and we made a notion of, it's almost like back then they had to do it because limitations, but now they really don't have to. Why are they still using this kind of stuff? You do not like it. Do not lie. Do not lie. You hate this combat. But I'm burned out. I don't even know if did you like it in the beginning? I'll get on with you so you can actually make your point without typing it. So yeah, that's where we are. We're coming to the end. We're definitely going to finish Shadowbringers itself, and then we're probably going to break and play some other stuff and some other things. Like Epsilon said, take a play of something else. Then we'll come back and do, if it's good, which it looks like, it's no worse than turn-based. I have an interesting take on turn-based that someone gave to me. I'll come to you with that. And we're going to do some other action war games, and then we'll come back. If Shadowbringers End is really good, which I have heard it is, and it's been good so far, then we'll do Endwalker, and obviously we'll do the Hildebrand stuff. But Hildebrand is like the best, what's it called? Is the best silly visual novel ever. So it's like a freaking Saturday morning cartoon. It's great. It's fantastic. Okay, so let me get on with Epsilon so we can get this ball rolling. Okay, hold on. Man, how big is Final Fantasy 14? Hello, Mist! Final Fantasy 14 has... Let me get on with my friend. Hold on. Let me get everything up. I know you're waiting on me, Epsilon. I see you. I have your thing up. Give me a sec. Okay. Now everyone can hear you. Hello. Are you there?
Hey.
You gotta get the whole cast for Hildebrand. Yes, we do. We used to do Hildebrand with all our friends, and we need to do that again. But that's a ways from now. Like, we've got a while. Okay. Everyone can hear and see everything okay?
All right, I'm gonna mute you on Discord and see how.
Hold on, we're testing.
On stream.
All right, here we go.
On stream.
All right, here we go. My dancing.
And I'm gonna hear you in a delay.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
I can hear myself.
There's the dance. Here's some more music.
I hear your game, but I don't see your game.
Oh, I see why. That's on me. I know why.
You didn't switch.
I didn't switch. I did everything else. I forgot to switch. That's fine. It's right here. Hold on. Where is it?
Right.
Yeah, I was doing everything, and then it was like, wait a minute. There's something I'm forgetting. All right, hold on. I got to get you up. Okay, there we go. Now we can all see. Hello, everyone. Hello. Okay, now you can see. Hi. Okay, so, Mist, to answer your question, Final Fantasy 14 has the main game, which was remade from the original because the original was trash. Epsilon played it. It was awful.
Wait a second. Wait. No. The only thing bad about the original was
I heard it was
grouping.
awful in every single way.
The combat...
No, not 11. Not 11.
11. What are you talking about?
No.
Oh, the original version of 14.
The original 14.
Yeah. I played the beta for I think 2 months, and I was like, I don't care about it. And there was no one playing it. It really it suffered for me, particularly because no one played it but me. Like, no one else was in. So I was like, of my friends, I was like, I don't want to play this with randoms. I don't care to learn. I don't want to meet new people and play this like that. There was no now. There's the system. If you play solo, if you don't play with anybody, it's
you really
easy to
can.
find
Yeah,
parties.
you really can.
You can always play solo. I mean, if you don't know what you're doing, they actually have a built-in system for mentorship in this game, and it works. It like I did it for a little bit when we first started playing because I didn't know kind of what I was doing, and other people were playing it weren't really interested in like getting on a call and tell me how to play. They were just gonna like meet up and do the dungeons with me and stuff, but they didn't really tell us how to play. So I was like, I mean, there's obviously tutorials and you can follow along and learn to play if you're not,
and the community is extremely, everyone,
very
how
collaborative.
Like other MMOs, have terrible, awful, toxic communities. This is like the opposite. They are extremely nice in this community.
I'm not trying to make you commit slander here, but was that like you were just saying the word WoW, or were you talking about the game? Genuinely couldn't tell if that was like you were trying to throw shade.
I'll leave it up for interpretation. That way I can't be saying yes or no. I'll do the politician.
Okay.
Well, I was bigger. Mist. I don't really like Final Fantasy 14 because you have to pay for more even after getting it. Yes. Here's the thing. If I'm correct me if I'm wrong, Epsilon, not you. Everything, the base game and the first expansion is free, right?
I think Heaven's Word. Wait. Stormblood is now free too. I think everything's. I think it might have only been limited time, but I think Stormblood is basically free now too.
If nothing else, the main game.
Well, not free. It's included in the purchase of the main game now, so I should say. Like you buy the main game.
Oh, I thought you got like free time too. Like you don't have to pay the $12 per month for the first until later. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
No. Oh yeah. No, you usually get it's like 30 or 90 days depending on which version you buy.
Like, I totally get what you're saying, Mist. If I did not have Epsilon with me, we wouldn't do this. This is kind of like our podcast fun time. We've always played games and done that. Wars 2 had some.
We've played MMO. Well, we always played other games together, but like we played an MMO since. I mean, I was in high school. Were you in middle school then? Were you in high school?
From Maple Story?
Yeah, I guess that's the first one. Right? I mean, it's not good, but we played it.
We did.
We usually got on a phone to play.
Oh, God.
Because back then, like, I didn't even use Ventrilo then.
We didn't even have Ventrilo or Discord. That was back in the olden days.
Ventrilo existed, don't get me wrong. Like, we could have used it, but I didn't really like it, and I didn't have good enough internet to use it while I was playing the game, honestly. I had DSL, excuse me, back then. Yeah, I didn't have like actual.
I remember Maple Story played by frames for me. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, your system couldn't handle it, which that's not good. That like Maple Story was not a graphically intense game. I mean, don't get me wrong. There were some rooms where it was, depending on the amount of assets in the room.
That's just because the amount of assets. That had nothing to do with like the graphics.
Yeah. I mean, that is like the game's limitation. They shouldn't allow that. Like they should have like not rendered if it didn't matter.
Early MMOs, man, just spawn as much as you can.
I mean, it was basically like hoping that the player base just had computers that were good enough. I mean, if you lived in Korea, you probably had a good enough computer. That's where the game was made for.
So we played that, and then we played some others. Guild Wars 2 we played for a while with the two of us, and we Final Fantasy 14.
I wish that had been like during the time of streaming, because we would have streamed that and had a lot of fun. I think because it was just basically us reading the stories.
We can go back.
We had different stories. No, we could. I was just thinking like how that would have been a good, because that was like kind of like this where we both sometimes we get unique dialogue, and that was definitely because it was like, and you could come along and see my perspective when you did my story quest.
Yes,
right? Remember how, like, vice versa. Like I could see your take. So we basically played two different characters, two different races, two different backgrounds, two different classes, and gotten to see each other's story, how different it was, no matter who you played, because we played with each other and actually play each other's stories as well, like tag teamed on the stories, even though you don't have to do that.
It was pretty interesting. We'll see about going back.
Yeah,
but
that game's fun.
We played that, and then we got into 14 because some of the other people were playing, and I was like, I'm not really into MMOs. But everyone's playing, which makes it a little better. So we did it, and Epsilon and I, like, our other friend Balamir, if you've seen him, you've watched Tales of Vesperia, was there. He went super far. Like, he's played way more than we have. But Epsilon and I...
He's even been on here with us once. He wasn't on talking, but he played and helped us on the
Well, he was on talking for one mission, remember? He
he did read it. I forgot. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, so he definitely helped. Yeah, that was the time I was thinking of too. He helped with the what's it called?
Allied quest thing.
Alliance quest. That's what it is. The 16-man run.
The big ones. So
yeah, the big one for this game, which is not as big as like a raid. WoW, but.
So we played that, and we got really into the story, and it also became a time where the two of us could just hang out, and we're just like podcasting basically, and we actually liked the story. And so we want to finish it because we're actually connected. And I'll give it credit for the story alone. It's pretty worth it. I definitely would not play it alone. I want to experience it with someone else, like me and Epsilon and stuff. But if you got a couple friends who actually like story and to talk about it and kind of have fun together, I do think it's worth it. Like, I do think. Oh, thank you, Epsilon, for putting that in there.
Yeah, so that's sorry.
I do think it's
if you want me to explain it. So if you buy the complete edition of the game, you get Realm Reborn, Heavensward, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, and Endwalker, all expansions, everything together, for $59.99 for the digital copy. And there's a collector's edition that comes with a bunch of like basically like DLC content, which is like it's mostly mounts and like cosmetic items that you don't need.
No, not at all.
Mostly, it literally is all extra mounts and cosmetic items. That's all it is. So you don't need to buy the collector's edition unless you really like the game. Which if you don't like the game, you probably haven't started playing it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter. But yeah. So pay the $60, you get the full game, all the expansions, everything now, and then you get 30 days to play without having to pay for the subscription. Then once that started, then you start paying. I think it's 12 something. I don't pay monthly.
It's like $12.99.
I pay the 6-month version, and that's $76, I think, every 6 months, and I barely notice it. So, like, as a cost for the time, how often we play. I mean, we used to play a lot more too. Like we almost used to play daily at one point, so I really didn't care then.
Yeah,
but that was really also when we were in the Realm Reborn, the first campaign at that point, and once we started in Heavens, where we slowed down, that's when we all started streaming it. Slowed down about that. Halfway through Heavens, we started streaming, and that's when we slowed down to every other week or so. So
no, we didn't start streaming until Stormblood.
Was it Stormblood?
Yeah, okay. Stormblood.
Well, yeah, well, we definitely were playing Heavensward at a slower pace still too. That's what
that was also because of computer stuff as well. Remember, mine was starting to crap out pretty bad. I remember that. That was bad.
And I was moving a lot and trying to like get things like. I was
like
my wife and I got together.
So the point is, it is a good story. It's a very good story. Like it is Final Fantasy. Is like a mainline Final Fantasy. It is very good, even for how long it is. It has really nice settings, and it's very pretty. And when I say pretty, I don't mean graphically. I mean, like, aesthetically. It is good. It is tap target gameplay, though, which is my huge, ginormous gripe that Epsilon also holds. I've never liked tap target. He may have liked it before. I hate it. I think it's an archaic version of a bygone era where internets could not connect with each other, and I think it needs to die. I think it is lazy. I think it's just taking spreadsheets and slamming them against each other. I hate it, and I really don't want to play it. So that's like a big gripe I do have, especially whenever there's so many good MMOs out there and coming out. And you've seen some of the ones we've looked at that are action RPG, just like as if you're playing single player game.
I think the best way to sum up the issue is that the game pretends that it's an action RPG.
Yes.
But in reality, at best, it can only be a tab target system. It has some interesting mini games, is the best way to describe them, that help change up the mechanics during combat sometimes, but often they're not telegraphed by the enemy that need to be triggered, or like the way that they're visually indicated is just garbage and does not do anything unless you've already played it and know how exactly that visual is supposed to look. And what that means for you to do. And so those are gripes we both have complained about during the actual issues when we were having the issues. And Valimir has kind of defended it by saying, well, yeah, they don't really explain this very well, but once you know it, you kind of can tell. And I was like, yeah, it's true. Like once you know it, but that's the problem is like my first time doing a dungeon where they introduce it, it's like I'm getting punished for no reason other than you're good. I'm getting punished for no reason. And so, you know, the limitation of it being really at best a tab target system when it's disguised as an action RPG is what, you know, as an action game, like where it's real time combat, is what I think really irks both of us. Because other games do turn based and they make it obvious it's turn based. This is not turn based technically. It's more of like a what was the system called?
ATB system from Final Fantasy VII.
It kind of feels more like that because you have your own individual time. It's like your moves have individual timers, so it's even more complex because it's not just the character having a timer. So they can take an action. And some of your moves are linked on the timer, but not all of them. And so you have a lot more options to keep doing stuff, and you have to like physically be in a certain position, so it has that aspect of a real-time combat, but real-time action combat, but not. It's just not like it's a facsimile of being an action game, and that's what I think bothers both of us the most about it. But yeah, I think it sometimes I'm okay with the way the tab target system works. I'm not against it. Like I remember in 11, I did not care. It was. I also think at the time though the internet was so slow, like so much
A
latency.
limitation of the time.
If it had been at real time, it would have sucked because I would have never got anything off. I would have been like
yeah,
getting
but
beat
that's
up.
why they didn't do it.
Yeah, and
But now they
now
can.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't change this game though, because too many people are playing. I think they just need to release a new Final Fantasy that's MMO, and that would be if they make like 17 and make it an MMO like this one, but with like I don't know, like Black Desert style combat or something, or like or even
Please.
just like make it like Kingdom Hearts, I guess, but
Black
like
Desert would be fine.
a
Vindictus would be
a better
fine.
magic system or something, better ability system than what Kingdom Hearts has. Like,
hey man, I'll pass that.
I guess make it keyboard mouse friendly and maybe controller friendly, like the way this is technically both. Just do that and not make it a controller only.
My thing is why they're like, oh well, we have to make it mouse and keyboard friendly, and yet you're trying to make it so that people on the consoles can play. That's a controller. That's what you're trying to like fall to. It's trying to get
the consoles they allow you to play on can use a keyboard mouse too.
You look me in the eye and you tell me an individual who has hooked not tech savvy people, a layman who has hooked a computer.
You buy a USB keyboard mouse combo wireless and plug it in. It just works.
No one does that. No one does that.
People who play this game do that. Almost all of them do that. Very few. The controller is also often disadvantaged in this game. You're better off having a keyboard with macros. The controller does not have enough keys, enough inputs to make using all of the freaking abilities you get. I have 3 bars of freaking abilities.
Yeah.
Like, it's like how am I supposed to map that to a controller?
That's why I'm saying don't play this game with a controller.
Well, I mean, you know what's funny is that Baramba, when he played PC, he even played with a controller. He thought it felt better. I thought that was hilarious.
Was also super early game.
Yeah, he wasn't far enough in to have enough abilities, I guess.
He was like level 16.
Yeah, that's true. What level is he now?
But yeah, so the point is, this game is very good. It has a fantastic story. It's held back by the limitations of the media of an MMO, because they're all made like this from the past, and it started back there. Nowadays, people are really starting to go into action combat. All the MMOs, like on Summer Games Fest, it's all action. It's all action. Go look at all of them. They're all action combat. Because that's where we are now.
Well, yeah, because we have... internet is broadband internet adoption. Like, I think the average internet speed is 100 megabits per second now in the US. Finally, like for years it was like 5 or 10 or something like that. It's more in that range. Now it's actually 100. Like the average broadband internet speed is 100 megabits per second. I mean, it's average. There are still some people who are at like 20 or less, but because there's a lot of people who are at 1,000. So if the average is 100, it's not great really to think about it, but. Or the average is not 1,000. It's the 5,000 now is the current like home use max. I don't know how widely spread that is. I know AT&T offers it across a lot of the country. I think that Fios also offers it. Fiber internet offers about 5 gigabytes now, the highest anyway. I mean, if you can fake being a company, you can get 10 gig to your office. But yeah, a lot of small companies do that, and so you can get that for your home too if you really wanted, technically. I mean, fake because you have a business license or whatever to prove you're...
Yeah, to prove that you're using it for business purposes.
But you know what I mean? If you have it at home and you play video games, you would also use it all the time. They're not going to stop you. So, point is that there's way higher internet speed, and on top of that, we have phones that can play these action games. I mean, the controls are not good unless you're using a Bluetooth controller, but you can play a video game that's basically the same caliber we're playing right now on our computers. This game, visually, this caliber, and have it real-time action combat. It still plays just as smooth as it does on this system right now. So like on a desktop fully a modern whatever Intel 12th 13th gen AMD Ryzen 7000 series CPU, like either one of them would be what your phone can basically play pretty close enough 60 FPS especially on that little screen. So
Absolutely.
If you can do that, why not just have this easy access to high-speed internet and these devices that are able to play? Why not just have an action game?
Yeah,
that won't really trip up even the lower end user base, like people that have the worst hardware aren't going to be messed up. So it just seems like we're like you said, we're passing limitations. We're actually we're experiencing progress for the hardware side of things and the networking and all that, but the developers, the funding. I mean, I honestly think part of that might be part of delays from like COVID. Like some of the teams not being
Well,
able
it's
to
also
work.
that this was made so long ago that it was tap target back then. It was
Oh
dying
yeah, yeah,
out,
yeah.
but it
Yeah,
was tap
not just
target,
this game in
and now
particular,
it's
but like when you look at other games that came out like just 3 years ago, there weren't massively multiplayer action games coming out. You know, almost everything was
true.
like multiplayer with like, you know, oh, it's like an instance lobby, or like, oh, it's like a limited, like, or it's like the way they do like Dark Souls, or it's just like you see the shadows of other players, like it's an
Yeah.
asymmetrical gameplay type thing where it's like you see someone die the way they fail or whatever, that kind of thing. Like they did stuff like that was kind of multiplayer and like community involving, but not actually MMO. Like no one was. I feel like there was like not a call for it, but now I feel like I think a lot of the teams over like maybe like the break of not being able to make games. A lot of teams are like, we need community. We need to have players who hang out with each other. So there's a lot of games coming out. Like there's a lot of games announced recently. Like a lot. I mean, I think I've sent you like what 5 or 6 different
Oh yeah, and Summer
MMO
Games
style
Fest has a
games.
lot too. Like there's
I
been
haven't.
a
Yeah, you bring it up
lot.
earlier. But I still haven't looked at the list. Maybe you did. But that you told me a few of them yesterday. But I think you know, I think that there's a lot of companies, a lot of devs, you know, designers who were like, we need games that are about community, and they worked hard on that during like COVID, making the game design, not actually developing the game, right? Like they came up with ideas, and now they're like starting to come to fruition finally a bit later. You know, I think that's the what we're seeing right now, this landslide. I mean, it's also trends, right? Like there's like fads. So
Yeah.
like one company kind of like, you know, internally is like looking to hire someone to work on, like, especially with MMOs, you can see if someone's hiring out to build a team to make a game, especially, you can see that there's engineers for networking, for like server maintenance and stuff. Like you only really need that if you're running a really massive multiplayer game. Like you have like one of those FPS where like let's say you have like 64, 128 players or whatever on a server at a time, one of those. Or you're making MMO. You don't need that for other multiplayer games. You make individual small servers that can handle the 20 people on a server or whatever. It's FPS. So you see other companies doing something like that, it becomes very obvious. Oh, we should also be doing something like that because that's going to be popular. We want to get a piece of that too. You know, that's how the corporate side controls things, runs things, not the artistic side, obviously, but which will mean like, okay, we have a game that can be multiplayer. It could be massively multiplayer. Why not? And they end up shooting, okay, let's go ahead and try this because it's going to be the trend coming up. But we'll see a lot of that, and then we'll probably see it die again. We'll probably see MMOs are almost like a curse, I guess. They just don't.
Yeah, they are.
Like, it's a genre that we desperately like since MUDs have been around, the like the text communication, like role playing environment. Since those have been around, like it's basically the early internet. Like we wanted to have something to have community without actually having to leave our houses, basically, which was basically like Zoom.
Yeah.
When COVID hit bad. But I mean, like, we want that as like we want a virtual environment to have fun in. I mean, Habbo Hotel, man. You know, like stupid stuff like that. It worked because that's what people wanted, the basic idea. And there are certain MMOs, that stuck around and still have gameplay that's relatively fun. It's not like, the best enthralling gameplay, but that's like we're reaching where the lower end limitations is no longer causing us to have to not have that. So I think we'll see like a big, it'll be a bump up of like, this game has no business being an MMO, but we're going to make it one just because we can.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. That's what it's going to be. You're get these games are actually really fun. Like they could be amazing, absolutely amazing single player experiences, high caliber single player experiences, but they're going to make them MMOs because they could. Like that Wayfinder is an example. I think that game, I told you, feels like I'm playing Darkstalkers when I played the beta. Probably shouldn't talk about it. I think I might be violating the NDA technically. I go into too much detail. I don't know. Probably not saying that, but it reminded me. It gave me feelings of Darkstalkers, but then it was also an MMO, which is interesting. Like that's basically what I was just describing, though. Is like they had a game format that works, but at the time when that game came out, like a PS3 could not possibly. I think that was the first game came out on PS3 time. I'm pretty sure. Like PS3, Xbox 360 could not handle playing an MMO. Like I mean, Final Fantasy 14 existed, but it wouldn't have handled a real time action.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I mean. But now, hey, we can, and we can do it on consoles too. Like we can do it on like every player. Like I mean, they'll probably make it for like tablets even. Who knows? Like
that's where the money is. So that's what they're gonna do. It.
Yeah. This gives their mom's credit cards. That's where the money's at.
So
I mean, most companies
it's not a bad game, but it does suffer from, once again, it's MMO of the past, and it has to have target with it and stuff. And with good like Epsilon was talking about, the new age of MMOs, because they're actually doing it, making like a single player game with action experience. With those coming out, they're not out yet, but we have a lot. Yeah, I'm telling you, Summer Games Fest had like 5 of them.
I guess that's the other thing is let's not put all our chickens in one basket or whatever, or before they hatch or whatever. What's the expression? Like
don't count your chickens before they hatch.
Because we don't know what the.
But here's the thing: even if 2
of those, I played Wayfinder's beta and it was playable, but that doesn't mean it's going to be good.
But think about that. It doesn't mean if this is the trend, and let's say 10 come out, even if only 2 are good, that's successful. 2 really good ones.
Yeah, that's the other thing you got to think about is I think a lot. So I was going to say, I have a point about this game being changed. I'll get to that in a second. But when you think about it, a lot of the devs and a lot of the developers and publishers that were making like high quality content, good games that did have a lot of multiplayer stuff, they recently have been dissolved, or like the people have in mass quit and they've gone on to other things. And now we're seeing these MMOs. So maybe there are people that wanted MMOs or to change the MMOs that they're working on to make them better, or to change multiplayer games they're working on to make them more of a MMO-like game, and bring them. Now they're bringing them out as with a different company that they've started working with. Maybe that's what we're seeing. But I was going to say, for this game, the only thing I fear is that this game's story is like the thing that draws people in, keeps us here, keeps most of the Let's players out there really love this game, not because of the quality. Sorry about that. Not because of the quality of the game itself, like the combat or the actual gameplay, I guess, but a lot of it is the story that draws people in. So what happens when they decide to switch people who were on this to working on like potentially if Square decides not to hire a whole new team, which hopefully they don't hire a whole new team. There's too much good here to let go of direction from this. But what if they take some of the resources from this and put it on the other game? I mean, I guess this game could be done. They could sunset it, but they never have said. It seems like, honestly, I mean, I don't know.
Yoshi P doesn't want to.
Yeah, I don't think the end of Endwalker closes this game to where it can't have another expansion.
No spoilers, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know any, but I'm saying my point is like, even if that were the case, I feel like they'd try to keep this going because there are some people who really love this game's gameplay, this format.
Yeah, there are.
Nothing against them. I don't think there's any wrong.
No, nothing wrong. I wish I was like that. I'm not like. I know I don't play the classes that are super into it, but
in Realm Reborn, yeah, I feel like you got a lot of problems because of your white mage
is trash. I know it was trash. I knew what it was doing, but it's tap target. I knew it was tap target, so I'm like, I'm not even gonna try. And even Dancer, which is fun, it's still. I'd rather play a game with impact. Whatever, we've had that conversation.
You should switch to a different class again. Like try something.
Oh, do you want to wait for 25 minutes for Q then?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Because you're playing Dancer also. What I meant was like. Even in your story mode, play something else that you might enjoy. Like
I don't want to level something else. That's more time on this thing.
I was just say like try to go for like a tank class. Like maybe you can start never 60 want a tank. On Gunbreaker. Gunbreaker's a weird hybrid kind of.
I do not want a tank because then I have to leave.
I started it, but
I mean in story it doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying in story. And yeah.
But in story, here's the thing about story: the battles are so small, we barely have them. What's the point? Story does not have a lot of battles.
Well, I was thinking
it's mostly a visual novel.
Yeah, I was thinking so long you could actually enjoy the combat for once, something to make you have.
But that's the thing. I don't like the way the combat is. And here's the thing. Here's the tangent to something else. So that's the game. If you like it, go for it. It's not bad. It's just it is a tab target. It is a tab target. So if anyone's gonna do that, just keep that in mind when you go play Vindictus or Black Desert or Bleeding Soul, or others that aren't like that. And the millions that are out in Summer Games Fest. Oh my god, there's so many of them. Holy crap. So here's the thing. You mentioned Epsilon in the way before we started about, hey, take turn and like that whole thing. Here's the thing about take turn. I was playing Pokemon and there was someone in Alazir, if you're here, or if you see the VODs, thank you. When we were doing the Pokemon gameplay for Violet, someone named Alazir was in chat. He's very good at Pokemon. He does Nuzlocke runs all the time. And so I was talking about how I didn't really like how he wasn't super into turn-based. I think it's kind of archaic in the past. It's not bad. It's just like, look, if I was going to play strategy, why wouldn't I play a strategy game? Here's what he said, and it totally slammed me. And I was like, you know what? That's what it is. Take turn battles are like a card game. You play your turn, you get buffs and traps and things set up for the future that the enemy plays theirs and you have to deal with. And it's a strategy where most of it, like a deck builder, is done before you go in. What do you have? what cards will you have in your arsenal,
it's
and how do you meta play them, because you don't, other than debuffs, you don't, and very special properties that bosses may have where they cut off some of your abilities, which is very rare, but it does happen. Other than that, you don't affect what each other play. It's like a deck builder where you play the meta and do you get it.
And in those games, yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, it's just like, so the equivalent of the deck building in that is that you gain enough experience and leveled up and gotten these certain skills, right? Mm-hmm. That's your deck building essentially. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, the majority of the games actually in not majority of the game. That's a weird way of phrasing that. Sorry, hold on.
The majority of the gameplay risk and gameplay elements.
Risk mitigation is in preparation. It's not during the actual combat.
Yes.
It's not during your turn-based combat phase. It's everything you do before that, before you agree to enter a battle by walking into the room or walking into a random encounter, or going to an area where random encounters happen. It's what you equipped yourself with.
Yes.
Prior to doing that, and there's no skill because there's nothing for you to do real time. I mean, there's strategy, but there's not
strategy.
Reflex skill like in like a Dark Souls game or whatever, like Bloodborne or something, right? You avoid that entirely, right? And this game is kind of like that, except for it does have weird things like positioning is actually still a weird real-time skill you have to have. Like, you have to be able to read, and like that's what I was saying before. Like, some of those visuals are so bad you can't read them, and it's like, what do I do? So like, this game actually is the most negative version of that.
Yeah.
The tab turn is turn-based, but for the actual, like, how you prep your character, where you put your skills at, how you, like, if you build out macros, for instance, like I do, or if you...
But that's the thing, in my opinion.
You make a mental strategy for how you...
But here's the problem with that. Here's the problem. The game's solved. And it's played as it's solved. Because when you play your class... Okay, here's what you do. You have this macro, then you do this cycle and that. That's not strategy. That's playing a game that's solved. It might as well be my phone game auto battle.
I mean,
you're just moving around. In the strategy take turn, it's like in Pokemon, for example, or Persona. What personas Pokemon do you use? What do you come up with this fight in?
There's nothing wrong with the solved game though, because like saying that makes you think of like chess. Chess is a solved game. It's freaking massive. What's the word? Not footprint. The actual, like, the playable space, like how...
Here's the difference, though. Here's the difference, though.
Possibilities.
Here's the difference. In chess, you're playing a human who brings their personal element. Which is a solved dungeon. That's why you see everyone... Oh, okay, so this battle's this. You have to be in this at turn 5. At this time, he's going to do this. It's literally Simon Says.
You already know, the script. You know the script the opponent's going to play.
You are literally, thank you. Absolutely, you're amazing.
Yeah,
you are filling the script in a play. You're
Which
not
I
doing it.
I kind of like from the story. It makes sense.
Yeah, for the story, that's fine. Why do you think we're
No. Like as the Warrior of Light, we should fulfill it one way and only one. It actually makes sense. And
that's
I hate it,
fine.
But it's also
because here's the thing, Absolutely, we're playing it for the story, so it plays into that. Great, cool. Well, what about for the gameplay? Oh, that's not why we're here.
No.
Think about it. What if the story was not good? Well, then what the
That's what I told you. I think I told you off stream before that if we could just find another stream that plays it and that people don't annoy me, I would just watch it.
I have that. Jesse does it. It's just...
I said
like
if the people
experiencing
didn't annoy
it with you.
Why are you discarding that? Why are you discarding that one parameter? I mean, Jesse Cox is funny, but he's not.
Dumb. He's a dumb butt. I love him, but he's
dumb. That was not a problem. I mean, I watch Yogscast.
But the point is, we do this because we react to it together, and really, we're podcasting. Look at us here. We're how long?
Yeah,
we're 33 minutes in. We haven't played.
Everyone enjoys this gameplay and just running around doing nothing. Absolutely nothing for like the last 30 minutes now.
Yeah, we're just having fun.
40 minutes.
But like,
what time is it? Oh gosh.
But we're here for the story, so it's really, we're playing a visual novel. We might as well be doing Fate's Stay. Like that's what we're doing here, and that's
what
fine.
Wants anyway.
Yeah.
You're just going full Valamir route.
I mean, it's his. Am I wrong? Am I freaking wrong?
You've let him take over. He's mind controlled you into making the stream into a Fate stream. Holy crap!
But that's all
right, guys. We're opening our gotchas on the FGO gameplay now.
Oh, you say gotchas.
Like the whole 5-hour stream, just you opening gotchas.
But the thing with it is, but here, think about it. It all hinges on the story being good. That's the only reason we're here. So as a game, no. As an experience together, which is what this is for us, Yes, that's why I said,
Yeah.
Mist, or anyone who's asking, should I play this? Do you have a friend who likes story and who you can cut up with and just kind of smile and to go through it with like we are? Yes, go for it. No, I wouldn't bother.
Yeah, there's other games. Their gameplay is
unless
more.
You super love Final Fantasy as well. Maybe if you're a super ridiculous Final Fantasy fan.
Oh yeah, if you like Final Fantasy references, this is a good game to play because it is packed full of random weird references. I mean, sometimes how they shoehorn the reference in is just mind blowing to me. Like, this isn't even a good way to do this. Like, I could have wrote a better way of including this, but whatever. I mean,
So
what are the dog people? What are the dog people in the last
the new Moo, the new Moo.
Why they add the Final Fantasy Tactics Namu as a fey creature in the fairyland? Like, there's so many other ways you could have incorporated them in the game, and they chose to do that. It almost feels like a waste of an asset to me. The way
they're here. You guys have tactics, don't you? But yeah, so
I love Tactics Advance. They're so fun.
I did too. And I am not a Tactics player. And I love Tactics Advance. It was so good.
I actually love the strategy in Tactics Advance.
It was good.
I remember.
I'm not good at
it. I remember Tactics. I was also like, oh god, like 5 maybe when Tactics came out, and
no.
It was Super Nintendo.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking about Tactics Advance. I'm sorry.
Yes, no. Tactics Advance. I was like 11 or 12.
I'm sorry. I played Advance.
Yeah. That's why I played Tactics on the Super Nintendo. I think a buddy of mine had it when I was a kid, and I remember playing it in '97. So I was 7. I did not get very far in that. I didn't know I did not know what I was doing. I did not understand how to play it.
You're young.
Yeah, and then Advance came out, and I was like 11 or 12 or whatever, and that game was so cool. Like the way, like especially late game, I was like, oh my gosh, the judges have cards they play at the start of the battle, and you can't do certain things. Like,
I remember that.
You can't move certain ways. You can't use range attacks. You can't use certain types of abilities. You can't use certain weapons. If you don't beat this game in 4 rounds, you lose entirely because everybody gets doomed. I'm like, dude, like these are so interesting. Such a it's basically a puzzle game at that point. Obviously, that's what I liked about it. But yeah, like that game was so cool.
But I still did like Advance. Yes, Advance was still there, and the story was actually really good too. I still remember. Speaking of Tactics,
it fell apart in the sequel, but yeah.
Yeah, the sequel was not great. It was fine.
At least it had an actual sequel. It was kind of weird because the other Tactics game had nothing to do with Advance setting, and then they made War of the Lions to kind of reboot the original game. But
I forgot about that. Speaking of Tactics, and this will not be done on stream, but just as you all know, the Persona 5 Tactics game is coming out, the one that looks like Persona Q kind of style. I'm going to have to play that because I played Persona 5 and I love Persona 5 and all bit about it. But I'm going to have to play a Tactics game, and I am not very happy about that. So it's going to be normal, and we're going to go.
Does it have like a relation system like Persona games?
No, the off games don't. They never do.
That'd be interesting to put a relation system.
You still build Persona, though.
But like, imagine that though. Imagine having the relation system.
There are games like that with the Tactics game.
The social link. Who does that? I don't know. What game has that. Like a true Tactics, like an isometric. Like not really.
Yeah. There is some like that.
Who has that? I don't know.
Crap. I don't know. There are some. There was one I looked at. I was like, I want to play this as romance because pretty girls.
Romance. Oh, you're thinking of the Tactics game.
It also has bonds though. It has bonds and romance. They go hand in hand. But there was one, and I was like, I don't want to do this.
It's Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem's Tactics game has that.
Yeah,
right?
It's Fire Emblem. Yes, Fire Emblem.
That's what. That. Yeah, the Switch
and
one.
And that just has bonds too, not just the romance. It also has just. Bonds.
I don't like the way that is handled. I like the idea of like. You have.
Because you don't have special abilities and stuff. You just
what if you had like. I guess like this is kind of like how the newer Pokemon games are in a way too, but not just like the trainer and the Pokemon. But what if like the Pokemon are like fighting at the same time? Basically, is what I'm thinking, and they have interactions. Like these two Pokemon like each other, so they work together and do better. Or like these Pokemon hate each other because of their
Darkest Dungeon too.
I guess I don't play Darkest Dungeon because I don't want to be raging.
Pull your hair out, die, have an aneurysm.
I don't do that. If it was a fun game that did that, system, I'd like it.
I think there is some out there. But yeah,
I do like. Darkest Dungeon, Darkest Dungeon 2 have cool mechanics. They're just implemented on a game that makes you want to like burn the whole house down. It's not fun.
I beat one with mods. I beat one.
I'm not gonna play a game with
Babel says he's doing it right now because he and I are gonna play two together.
I'm gonna play a game with mods is like I don't know, like Skyrim or something, so I can have some like goofy stuff in the background or like Harry Potter.
I did it on Darkest Dungeon 1 had some class mods, new classes, which were very fun. And they were a little too strong, but I don't give a crap.
I vote. Yeah, that's a problem with that. Those balancing. You get these.
It was
like,
still difficult. It was still difficult.
Fan devs who don't know how to make a game for real, and they just add in stuff that breaks the game.
I only grabbed the really well done ones, and most of them were decent. They were a little better than the standard, but they weren't like game breaking.
It reminds me of playing like modded Minecraft, like.
Oh yeah.
They added stuff that like became unnecessary. Like, it made like getting stuff in the vanilla game like stupid, like pointless, or made like items that they added to the game either ridiculously easy to get or like way too hard to get. It's just so like unbalanced. Like how difficult they made it. That was like, what's the point of even doing this? Like I'm just like, yes, I'm just spending time playing a virtual simulator basically, but at the same time, like I'm not feeling rewarded by doing it. So why am I doing it?
All right, so the point. Yeah, the game is fine. It's just keep in mind what it is and go with that. We will be finishing Shadowbringers and taking a break for some other stuff, and we will come back for Endwalker if Shadowbringers ended very well. But we're gonna need it. Epsilon said he needed it, and I'm glad you said it in chat where you're like, I need a break, because I was like, good, that justifies me wanting it, because I was gonna power through. But now that you said I need it, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being the courageous man to be vulnerable, so I can.
So hopefully we finish this by, I think, November, and then I won't have to pay for it. I won't have to pay for it in November for my next.
Just start doing monthly. Just start doing monthly.
I don't want to do monthly because I need to look at the pricing now. Because they used to make it so you could only get the extra retainer if you paid for the 6 month. I think they.
Do you use him?
Yeah, both of my retainers are full of crap. Like,
you might need to do some spring cleaning, my friend.
Well, a lot of it is actually items that are like keepsakes. I hate that I have this like hoarding problem now in this game. I don't do it in real life. Don't look around my office right now. But a box that needs to be probably thrown away. No, it's actually a lot of parts that are perfectly fine. Just don't use them. But yeah,
they're important.
Well, some of it's like for my mom actually. Anyway, and the keyboard that I replaced because I didn't like the way that keyboard sounded. It was too noisy. Like a weird hybrid mechanical membrane thing instead. Like, it's like softened keys. It's really odd. Anyway, but yeah, I don't want to like lose some of the items. Some of them are actually for my off class character, my other class I play. My
Gunbreaker.
I forgot the name.
Oh, Thaumaturge.
Thaumaturge. What is the name of that class?
Yeah, I think it's Thaumaturge.
Check my class's jobs.
And it goes into Black Mage, I believe?
Oh, no, not Thaumaturge. I'm playing Arcanist. That's what it is.
Arcanist, my bad.
Which becomes I forgot
Black
the
Mage?
name.
No,
it's not. It's one of the options, but it's not Black Mage. It's the same as Alfino, I think, actually, what he has.
Oh, the Scholar thingy.
Is it Scholar? No, because Scholar's a healer. It does have a healing spell or two, but Arcanist is not the same thing. I have the summons. I have the Carbuncle. That's what that character I have. The other class I have.
The Carbuncle.
And then I have Gunbreaker, which I've like literally never played. I have experience on, but not much.
All right, so that's the game. Enjoy. All right, so let's play the game and thereby do visual novel
assisting.
So yeah, we just had a big war and everyone's hurt, so we're gonna help because it's bad.
With tear-filled eyes, the prone man. He's prone. He's like on his back. It's not prone.
He's on his back.
Gazes up at you. His fingers twitch as if to reach for you, but he lacks the strength to raise his hand. He's not even on his side. How's that prone?
He's fine. I thought prone was on your back.
That's what I'm. No, prone is usually on your front or on your side, but you're laid out basically.
Can't you be laid out on your back like, oh?
That's not prone though. That's just.
That's how it always was in D&D. That's why going prone was like, ugh. Look, I'm just going by D&D because that's where I got it.
I thought going prone was like laying down, like snaking across the ground, like on the crawl. All right, Anguish Guard. Hopefully this guy's more dialogue.
That's his dialogue.
You want to take it?
Thank you, but it's too late. One of them got me. My turn, please. Use zombie rules of etiquette.
Yeah.
Finish me off.
Ew. Sulup.
They did.
Oh, I see it.
Where is he?
Over here.
Is he over here? Oh, he's over here.
It's like in the alleyway between the buildings.
Oh man, the rambling card. He's going crazy.
Trembling.
Oh, I thought it was rambling. I was like, I thought the madness was taking him.
He is trembling. He might be turning. Is it a woman? I think it's a woman. No.
Don't touch me! Oh, it's a guy. Don't touch me! I killed her. She's one of them, I know, but yeah, the madness has got him.
No, he's PTSD.
He's got him. Madness is taking over. He's gone.
War.
Only one sane solution. War never changed. Line up, my girl. Oh my god. Tell me you're okay.
No.
Tell me you're okay. You're fine. Look at her. She's okay. She's all right. She's fine. Everyone, shut up. She's fine.
Icarus is Snow Bunny. No.
Mane? Sorry.
My sweet Snow Buddy. My sweet
Don't
angel.
Say that. Don't repeat me. I'm saying stupid stuff you shouldn't say.
No. Be okay.
That thigh.
Be okay. Yeah, I see it.
Oh, I did not see you there.
Her voice.
Is there something you need?
There was her voice.
You, baby. But right now, I think it's you who needs me.
Wait, is there dialogue? No. Is it voice acted?
It's voice acted, yeah.
Oh, my audio. No, I have my audio off, so I forgot to turn it back on.
Really? There you go.
No wonder it's so quiet. Why am I only hearing Icarus? Jeez. What fresh hell is this?
I'm gonna say no, I'm fine. How are you feeling?
Let me catch up the dialogue because I haven't heard anything yet.
That's fine.
Immediately that. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I'll say shouldn't be resting, I guess then.
How are you feeling? Are you hurt? Let me help you.
I like getting at her, getting her chain here. That's pretty good.
Injuries are part and parcel of battle. While there's breath in my lungs, I shall see my duties done.
Oh,
no,
a beautiful Irish tone. The strong female.
Irish.
Don't pretend you're not of the same mind. You fought well today. Saved a great many lives. Thank you.
Irish.
Thank you. But really, you're the number one.
Unfortunately, this war is far from over. We must replenish our ranks and shore up our defenses before they attack again.
Yes.
Now, if you will excuse me.
She sounds defeated. My girl! I got you. Let me come through the streams and I got you. Oh, buddy, babe. Oh, my girl! Oh, no! My sweet girl. We got you. Turn to white mage now. Go. Ultimate, let's go.
I am
now.
Fine.
No, you're not. Rest now.
Completely and utterly fine. Better than fine.
Aww.
Hale and hearty and still alive to mourn those who are not. Who I failed to protect when they needed me most.
Yep, there it is. Survivor's guilt, baby.
So far, so goddamn far. I could have sworn the end was in sight, and now... Now they will never see it.
Damn. This is why
Impudent worms of the Crystarium.
Get the frickin'...
Get out of my way!
Get out of here! This is a moment!
The tragedy that has befallen you is of your own making. Divine
oh, that guy.
It's Baby Man.
Yeah, big man. Big man on campus.
The heavens have bequeathed to you
they have flying?
a benevolent savior. Me. I offer you freedom from pain and suffering. A paradise where man and sin-eater might live in peace and harmony. Why, already, our winged brothers and sisters regard me and mine as kin, alike to them in beauty and purity.
Look, they do look good, I'll give you that. But I'm not falling to fallen angel mommy, alright? Got the real girls.
I do not agree with any of this.
You not only reject my prophet hand, but raise your own against my sin-eaters. But it's only right that they respond in kind.
And transmogrify you into my eternal slaves. That's just
I
right
can't
retribution.
wait for them to explain what he is. This guy
yes,
Let this be a lesson to all those who would walk the path of sin. The wicked shall not inherit this world!
Yes, religion uses the enemy because man has preferred it. Good job. You Pharisee. You Pharisaic fool. The Vipers before you have fallen, and you will as well.
I love my character's face. I should have screenshot that.
Was it like? Yes. It was a freaking
stern, like side eye, very sassy for my character. Not typical face trim. Like he was gonna shoot him.
Oh yeah.
Like
take the javelin.
Ooh, I leveled up to 80.
No, Epsilon, the greatest jump of all time.
I got strong lance arm to 8.
Oh, dude.
And I learned Star Diver.
Did you buy Endwalker?
Yeah.
Good, because now you can go past 80. Okay, I just want to make sure the rest of your experience.
Oh yeah, from my class.
Yeah.
No. Oh yeah, I can go past 80. I'm already like.
Good.
I'm 73,000 experience into the next level already.
Yeah.
With the moon
baby.
Sorry, 1 second. What is this ability? I want to grab this for you.
That also means that we can not now. We should finish this quest through to a good amount, but we can also go back and do the one guy now. The side quest, probably finish it.
Do that. I did think about that this morning. I think about when we started streaming that if I hit 80, we could definitely go do that. Would be ready.
Let's finish with make sure everyone's like okay and stuff because we're in the middle of like mourning and sadness. And then we can move.
Oh wow! So if I execute Life of the Dragon, which is like that's no, shut up. That's the thing where isn't it the one where I bond with Nidhogg, I think. Where's Life of the Dragon?
You may have Nidhogg, but it is nothing compared to a drag dog.
Wow, I still have so many moves to learn. Oh my gosh, they had so much stuff in post game.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah, Chaotic Spring, Heaven's Thrust. I don't have any of those yet. Wormwind Thrust, Draconian Fury.
The Fury.
Roll. Where is this at? Traits? Life of the Dragon. That's one of my masteries.
So it's like one of your like passive things.
Yeah, allows for the strength of the gaze the first brood upon. Yeah, so when I land Mirage Dive, it switches Gerskjol, I can't even say it right because I don't know how to pronounce it, into Mistrand, and that's like my
ultimate
big lance. It's like Gerskjol is like a giant white lance attack, like a beam of energy shoots out of my lance. At the enemy. You probably see me do it a lot in combat because it's like one of my. I think I do like alternatingly every like few rounds of my other attacks. And then it becomes the I showed you the red version of it I think once, and that's the version where it becomes the strong, which is the Nidhogg's improvement to it. And then it's like I have to like hold his eye and it makes it turn red. That's why it's different color. But then Star Dive is when that's active. I can use Star Diver instead. That's a new jump I have. Delivers a jumping fire-based attack to target all enemies nearby with a potency of 620. Which, that's pretty high. It's not the highest I get, but like for attacks, some of them go to the thousands now. But that's what we're in. But in addition to that, every other enemy who's not within the 620 ring gets 30% less damage. Or, like it's in the vicinity, like my visual range, I guess. Like that can say how big the area is.
Fucking explosion to all I can see.
Huge dive, like the biggest dive.
The big one. All right.
I think there's one more dive after this that's bigger, but no, that's last dive. Everything else is one of my attacks.
One of your other ones to prepare for the dive.
Well, to like just do damage really, but yeah.
All right. What you got, girl? Valthyri's ship is already gone. How flattering that he came all this way just to give us this speech.
Stupid.
I apologize for my earlier outburst. It's okay, baby. I'm with you. Rest assured that I have no intention of allowing any of my wounds to reflect the performance of my duties, especially not now. If I may ask, could I ask that you seek out Thancred and Ophelia for me? They endanger themselves on my behalf, and I would feel better knowing that they are willing to do anything for you. Any side quest, any errand, I'll be your errand boy. Thancred, in particular, sustained great an injury from that Senator. I would not be surprised if you were in Spagyrix still. I guess that's their mending tent. Please, give him my
I think that's... Is that someone's name?
I guess.
It was capitalized S. It wasn't like a lowercase s.
Alright, where is... Are we...
Spagyrix.
Oh, God. We have to go all the way
back to Crystarium. I can warp us there. It's not very expensive.
That's fine. We do that.
Yeah, I'm warping.
Thank you. Goodbye, Lena.
Good luck.
Heal up, girl. Okay, where are we going? Where am I going?
Like the closest thing is actually right here. I think just need to walk over. It's a shop. That's what that means.
I
think it's over here.
Are you already here? Oh, you're already here. I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Instant
Is it upstairs or?
I can't. I think it's on the same level. Wait, no. It is. Yeah, it's on the same level. It's outside.
Okay.
So maybe we just go out over here. Actually, this is downstairs. Oh, sorry. I think if we go here, up the stairs here a little bit, like mildly up, and then go out to the main area over here, and then go to the left. It's like,
it's a good outfit.
Yeah, I think it's right here. Yeah, that's right. The door's right here. Right? Oh, there he is, yes.
Good.
Hiding behind the temple.
Thankred, there he is.
You're here for me? I'm sorry to put you to the trouble. I'm fine. Really. The Eater landed an unfortunately solid blow, but the healers here have done wonders. I'm more worried about Minfilia. She's not taking it well. Could I ask you to speak with her? My attempts to reach out seem to have had the opposite effect. She's gone off to the Hortorium. Ostensibly to fetch herbs. Oh no, I think it's
that's
it's like a
greenhouse.
Yeah, greenhouse. I'm guessing. I want to call the Hortorium. Again, horticulture. I guess that's plants. Technically, I don't know. To fetch herbs for Chesamil, but just talk to her, will you?
I'm too depressed. Can you tell?
Yeah, you're very sad today. Even more sad than usual.
I'm always sad.
Just
it's my
outside.
secret. I guess the Crystarium mean? No, that's on a different level. Oh, how do we get here?
Where is this? I'm looking for...
No.
It's below. So I guess just go back inside where we were and then go down. So I don't see how we get there faster. Oh
yeah, it's in those lower places, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't remember being down there very much. I don't know how you can get there. I don't think there's any warps to go down. Like we were there was a cutscene about
how do we go down?
Down Vista Way.
Going downtown in a video.
No.
I
like that singer. I don't like that band. I don't like any of their music. I like Full Service. There's other band. They sound better. There's a lot more electronic instruments though, so we don't like them as much. Hey, how whiny. It's like the South Park version of it. Why are you doing that?
Dots. Perhaps a gentle
poke.
How do
you verbalize an ellipse? Why would you say dots out loud?
Dots.
And Philly appears to be lost in thought. Perhaps a gentle poke will get her.
Hush.
I am not doing this to a child.
Pat.
Pat. What are you doing? I poked her.
Poke. Why are you not in the corner? What the frick are you doing?
Get in the corner, not in the middle of the what is it? Kind of word scaffolded. What is the word? Not scaffolding. What is the rails? Like no rails. Just for that.
Splash sound effect.
Yeah,
Get
she
it?
falls in water.
Oh, insert name here. What are you doing here? Why'd you push me in?
If you really open up with it, yeah, I could have made that go somewhere else, but no.
Thancred. Sad. It's my fault, you know. I jumped at the chance to help Lena, but I was careless, and now it's all my fault.
Make up for it by being there for him. We wanted to get those herbs for the healers. I don't know. Be there for him. That's my choice. I did the choice. There it is.
Are you sure? I brought him nothing but trouble this far. And what if it's worse next time? All I do is make mistakes, put others to danger. I'm sure he'll resent me for being this weak. Maybe he already does. Maybe is that why I go to the corner all the time? But you're right. I can't stay in the corner forever. I have to grow up and be an adult. I can't be in timeout all day. I can still help, if only by seeing these herbs safely to the chessman. There's only 2 left on the list, but I need to ask about this one. I looked high and low and I can't seem to find. Can't she just like already have the herbs and take them back and be like, okay, no, we're gonna go see Thancred. Why do we have to do this? I can't seem to find it. Would you mind collecting the other? I would hate to delay you any longer. Looking for something with soft leaves, very fragrant, unmistakable medicinal way, I was told. We need 2 sprigs. Once you got them, you can bring them directly to Chessmill. Whoever gets there first can explain that the other will be back shortly. Thank you, I appreciate the help. I'm gonna win the race! I'm not a child! Why do we have to collect this? Why?
I don't know.
Why? I'm gonna look for him so I can tell you and then we can grab him quickly.
It's in this area. I mean, can't be too far, right?
There's one. Oh my god, is this it? Or is this not?
It's not it, probably.
It's probably not it. Oh, it is. Oh my! It was right, Minfilia. The corner. Now.
No one said she's a searcher. Oh wait, I went too far out the range. It's not this way.
Maybe it's random, and all of these could be it, but it might not actually. Yeah.
I mean, oh yeah, it's all the same name. All the same name. So. No. And you said this one wasn't either. I mean, I can check it just to make sure I get myself. But... yeah, it's not it. Okay. That's a boat.
It's right up here.
Where'd you go? Oh wait.
Crap.
I'm not here. Is this it?
Where is this? You got any information?
Yeah, it's over here. It's this one.
Okay, great.
Where I'm at right now.
I'm coming. You did it! Bomb the nose!
I love how you're like, I'm gonna go do it so you don't have to, and then I just go do it anyway.
I found the first one.
You have such bad luck. Yeah, you guys good luck on that one.
Wait, what was that? What was that? Say it again. Say it again.
You have bad luck.
Reinstate what I know from the past. Reinstate where these broken wings came from.
I feel like you have a negative perspective.
I do, and I will never fold on it. Babble Sensei, I don't care if you're here. You know what I've been through. Don't say. I will always have bad luck. I couldn't roll above a 4.
Everyone has bad luck.
For an entire beginning campaign,
sucks. But
I couldn't roll above a 4.
It's about how you feel.
I feel like a failure.
I mean, that might be appropriate, I guess. Maybe you do that.
Alright. So I'm trying to get in the mood for the story right now. You know,
I can't think of any instance right now where I need to explain like bad luck or whatever. But like, don't talk to Samish about it because he is like the worst person to talk about luck. He just rolls nat 20s all the time for no reason. Real life games.
Ophelia told me you'll bring the rest. Thank you. Here, take it. Oh, wasn't it so hard? Or too bad you did that? Yeah. You helped. See?
I'm a helper. Helping. Oh crap! I didn't do it.
Marvelous. With this, I can refresh our story. Medicines.
What is this accent? Slow down.
We're struggling to keep up with the number of wounded that are being brought in. I was not in the field, but it doesn't matter. The patient's faces make plain that it was a horrible battle. You all did terrible. Now we gotta clean up the mess.
It's like a British person doing a bad impression of like a Dutch-German hybrid.
And we're still fighting it, I suppose. Though it's bitter medicine rather than sharp steel. But we'll win, I promise you. We fight disease! Oh, that one's uncurable. The battle's lost. Alright, Thancred, have fun. Epsilon, Thancred.
Sorry, oh. Wait, I skipped this on. Sorry. Oh gosh, I just accidentally clicked. It seems that I owe you an apology for dragging you to yet another battlefield when you've just come off the front lines.
I gathered a few herbs. That's
It's not a battlefield. I don't know. In both cases, I'm sure your efforts saved more than a few. With Spagarix in good working order, the Crystarium's people will be well cared for. More lie ahead, of course. Battles only you can fight. Not that we intend to let you do it alone, but that's a matter to discuss with the Exarch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Insert.
You know the Exarch?
Well, good luck. Here's yours now.
Oh,
Have fun.
an old-timey prospector.
It's not.
No, I'm just that stupid voice till I know what the character is.
It's too late.
We do. Was there something you needed? You want me to do the old-timey prospector for this guy? Now we know what he's
Either
like.
that or say that it was a voice crack and play it off. Continuity, Epsilon.
It's not a voice crack. It's just the game doesn't give me like a way to know. If they gave me like character notes, I would.
Yeah, it should be something like gruff sounding warrior's voice.
Gosh, can I get like an actual?
Can I get a line he read?
I need to. I need a script. No line read. No line read. I need direction. Anyway.
Can I get a direction?
I need you to tell him something for me. Wait, what is the sentence structure? Why is for me a separate sentence?
Because oldish English.
That's not even English, it's just a sentence fragment.
I need you to tell him something.
Why would they write like this?
Is
he dumb? Is he
emphasis?
Limited in brain?
Emphasis, Epsilon.
Is he hit
Drama.
in the battlefield? His head?
Drama.
My dearest friend, you see. He was there on the battlefield with me, but only the one of us is here to speak of it. At the end, before the wound killed him, I heard his dying words. Don't unlock my phone. Don't look at my browser history.
Delete it.
I never knew that our world was this beautiful, he told me. I'm so glad that I got to see the night sky. I am dead.
Those were the last parts, but I could have omitted that. I probably should have for emphasis of the drama.
I don't know how the Exarch feels about what happened out there. I don't know if what Fothry said is true. If our losses were our just deserts, and we doom ourselves to worse by continuing to fight this fight. I believe in the Warrior of Darkness, in the Crystal Exarch. I don't think what they've done is wrong, and I don't think we're wrong to fight with them either. My friend, he smiled in the end, just as he smiled when he raised his glass to celebrate the return of the night. That's how I want to remember him. So I want to tell the Exarch, don't give up, don't give in, please. We'll tell him, you have my word.
I swear by the enthusiasm in my voice and the passion in my heart.
The message will be conveyed exactly as expressed to me.
It's freaking. If you ever play Pokemon Violet or Scarlet, you got to use that for Larry. You'll know when you get there.
Okay. I mean, it's just I can't remember the name of the dude. He used to be on YouTube. Would like read everything like that. Really this monotone, annoying voice. And he was like kind of popular. Like he has like every channel. He had like a link in, like a video recommendation. I can't remember his name. It's like Tim something, Tom something.
Awesome. Alright.
Anyway.
Alright, thank you.
He quit the infirmary.
Oh, a new headgear.
Do we just leave the infirmary? Why is it quit the infirmary?
Well, you quit something when you leave. That's how they talk. It's what you love. Let's quit this place.
I guess. I mean, let us away.
It's your favorite line.
No, let us away is my favorite line because all.
Oh yeah, that too.
It doesn't sound like you're saying.
You have a lot of favorites.
I mean, that's subjective. I don't think that's the word you mean. Like that word doesn't mean what you think it means. Favorite.
No, I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, heavily.
Your wonderful favorites that make you just love the way the voice.
Let Us Away is genuinely funny to me now because all I can think of is that stupid AI generated picture of the head of lettuce with a cape on it. Like that's all I can think of now.
Gosh,
let us away. That's all I can think
so
of. It's so stupid. That's all I can hear now when they say it. I mean, what was the other one that used to really bother me?
I thought it was "Let us quit this place." I thought it was
be about it. Isn't that the other one?
Oh yeah, let us be about it.
Let us be about it. Like what the heck does that even mean? Like I literally don't understand what the context.
It means let's
literally
go.
I read the script and I know exactly what's happening in the game. I understand what's going to happen next. I still don't understand what that phrase is actually meant to
be. It means let's go. It means let's go.
It means nothing. It means we exist. Let's be here. Let's be a thing. That's so stupid way of saying that. It's not making any sense.
It's Old English. It's the Final Fantasy 14 way.
It's some dumb dingless is what it is. It's not Old English.
It's common.
Some idiot doesn't know.
It's
It's not even common. It's not even common. It's not like medieval vernacular. It's not. That's not how people talk. It doesn't make any sense. Someone trying to make Old English. It's and what's the word? Oh gosh. What is it? I can't think of the word now. Lost my train of thought. Anyway, okay. If you're ready, why not go on ahead to the Ocular? You can keep the Exarch company while I fetch Alphino. Don't worry, I mean to borrow the swiftest emerald I can find, so we shouldn't keep you long. Be sure to pass on that message, eh? At least we can pass it on with more enthusiasm.
Yeah, no, just as he did it. Don't mess with the source material.
I feel bad for someone who's never actually played the game and thinks that Thinker actually is like a melodramatic, like, whiny person.
After he got possessed and everything,
I mean, in Realm Reborn, in Realm Reborn was where we set that voice up for him. It fit, but in every other part of the game, once he's not possessed anymore,
he's had an arc. He's not doing too well.
Yeah, like he goes through a rough time, but he is way more like hyper and like he's an older man, so he's not as hyper as he used to be. But
wait, this is, oh my gosh, what is this? What does this arrow mean?
Oh, I didn't even notice that, but you said something. Wow.
What does that mean?
We're advancing to the next step of the game. Like we're going to the next level. We're ascending. Literally the stairs and in the gameplay. Do you have business with the Crystal Exarch? Just say the word, and I would be happy to escort you to the Ocular.
Wait, say no.
What happened? Why you do this?
Before we do this,
the best
what does that mean? Does that mean we're about to enter like huge cutscene territory? Okay, so question.
It's not a thing I'm familiar with. Usually they give you like a pop-up that says like, this next scene will have 4 hours of dialogue. Are you ready to do this?
Before we do this,
did you take a big poop before you started playing the game? It's time.
Get your dinner. Okay, before we start, do you want to do it? The level 80.
I'm gonna check what this arrow means now that you got me curious and concerned.
I just want to make sure.
I literally did not care until you said something. Now I'm like, oh gosh, this could be bad.
Well, with the other thing, I'm just like, should we do that first?
Oh wait, does it say the name? The name is The Best Way Out. That's what we're currently.
Yeah, The Best Way Out. Yeah.
I looked up the name of the character we're talking to. My brain's not working.
Oh, good.
I was like, and then it listed that he had 4 quests to give us, which is odd. I did not realize he gave us some.
I think he's the one who does.
He's the teleporter, but that Best Way Out. That's a Robert Frost poem. Oops.
Okay.
I'm having a day today. This is interesting. That's 14 in Roman numerals, right? No, I did it backwards. Boy. I need to take a little break. Okay. So where are we?
Is it like long? Is it like a big cutscene?
I'm reading the list of steps. We're about to start this. It's literally the start of this. Okay. The player is advised to seek every opportunity to question Emmett Silk due to the presence of lore relevant dialogue. That's the walkthrough for this, which is interesting.
Okay, well, I don't think it's going to be huge. Maybe it just has that arrow because it's into the stereo.
I'm trying to see if they actually tell us that. Like, this is the official console games wiki version for 14. I'm not seeing anything that indicates what that indicator is, what that little marker is. Let me see if the Eorzea database has it. That's the actual official wiki.
Do you think that level 80 where we are is like okay to do the other quest, or do you think we're gonna be like in trouble?
I mean, if it's minimum 80, that probably means they're gonna level match us to 80, so it probably doesn't matter.
Okay.
I mean, this is level 76 from the main, so we could keep doing this if the other one says we should be level 80. Like, in theory, we would probably do this before we do this phase 2 of that mandatory side quest.
Hi, Vitruvian. I see you. Apparently, they're making Final Fantasy 9 and 10 remake. Ooh, interesting. I know that Final Fantasy 9
That's a fan remake.
Got a fan thing where it was a proof of concept. I remember seeing the thing about that.
Yeah, and Square shut them down. They said they made an engine to run like a bunch of assets they made for the proof of concept, and it technically is playable. Like you could load it up and play it if they if they were to release it. They said, but Square told them no. And it might be because Square was already working on a legit one. If they just announced it today, that's interesting.
Yeah, did they announce it today, Vitruvian? I haven't seen the Summer Games Fest stuff today. Well, that's not true. I saw the Atlas Project one. Persona 6, but it's not 6. It's just a different thing.
Is there a good YouTube? Is there like a YouTube channel just to watch all the videos that are good?
I think it's still going right now, or it just ended. So I
mean,
doubt it's all up.
I mean, not the live. I don't watch the live stuff. I don't care enough to watch.
You mean
live.
The VOD of it?
Yeah, is there a good VOD or like a good like? Is someone doing a good summary of stuff? Because I keep finding some summaries where they're not very detailed. I don't feel like going to like Kotaku or something like I used to back in the day. I don't care for their way they write stuff anymore.
Vitruvian, they should drop the numbers for Final Fantasy so new people aren't shied away. I mean, yeah. I mean, they could just like name it Final Fantasy, insert a name there. The problem is like anyone in the gaming space knows that of what they are.
I mean, if they're gonna keep a number, they shouldn't make it stupid numbers like Type 0 and stuff like that.
No, not that. Not that. Not No More's way. Not No More's way. Like, either they name it
Vein of Memories and
350 over 2 days and Birth by Sleep. And
all right, 352.
It's stupid. No,
I can't even remember. Is it 352 over 2? What is it?
It's 352 slash 2.
That's not even numbers. He's putting freaking math in it. Like,
yeah.
I'm just kidding, but
and yeah, it is. Like, it's freaking awful.
It's such a stupid cryptic name. You could have named it something else.
Well, you see, Epsilon. The reason is the 358 equals the amount.
You have a whole other stream for this.
I do. And those VOD of the latest one will be going up on YouTube at Chris Redeem very, very soon. I just divided it out.
What was your last session you did? Was it Friday night?
The recap. Yeah, the recap of everything to 3.
It started
5 hours, 4.5 hours.
4 hours, yeah. I started autoplay for me. You got flagged for some copyright audio in it.
Yeah, that was because it started with I think I did Dearly Beloved to start. It doesn't matter.
Okay, I just wanted to let you know. I saw that as a warning when we were about to start playing. I was like, that's weird.
No, yeah. That just means that tiny part of this VOD.
I agree. If they're gonna remake a game, I agree. They should drop the number and they should put like a cool title, and then like somewhere like in the small fine print nearby, they'd be like a remake of Final Fantasy 9 or Final.
Well, wait, okay.
When they do a remake of Final Fantasy 10, they should say Titus is trash or something instead of just calling it.
Okay, so question though, Epsilon, when they make new games like 16 and stuff, what do they do? Do they do just the Final Fantasy title then?
I don't know. I can't wait. What is it gonna be like this weird thing when they do make the Final Fantasy and we have to like jokingly retitle it years later because now we know this is the true Final Fantasy from Square Enix, the actual Final Fantasy? Because I think that would be a great if they get like new, like we're gonna pull the plug on the franchise and they just gave it this really funny name based on like making fun of themselves for how the fact they called their first major successful game, I should say, the final game they're gonna make.
Because they thought it was.
Yeah, I'm saying, but when they actually do, what are we gonna do? I mean,
that won't happen.
Yeah, I'm sure their investors.
Jesus will come back first.
Before they do.
Yes, I genuinely believe that. There's no way.
Is that in Revelations?
Hold on, let me.
Like, is that something that John saw? Something John is like saw like this video game franchise.
Either video games end or he comes back. That'll happen first.
John was like, and thus the PS9 did show me Final Fantasy 572 was out.
Oh, God.
And it was good. Like, what? I'm trying to get.
And Kingdom Hearts, birth from the depths of the hearts reborn, over 7-5 has been released finally to relive the ancient classic.
Isn't Delta 4 though the Tribune Man's point about?
That's why they're doing with the upcoming Metal Gear Solid 3. They dropped 3 called Delta. Yeah, but Vitruvian, didn't they do that because Kojima's not there, so they're trying to like distance as much as possible from? Hey, it's not Kojima. It's it's Delta. Yeah, it's a new way we're gonna do Metal Gear. It's a remake of 3, so it's his work. Well, I mean, you could say that, but.
I mean, Delta, I'm assuming they took it because it also means change.
Like
it's used to represent change in like physics and chemistry. And
that's a good idea. That's good. That's a good mix. They probably multiple variables. Oh yeah, for sure. You really have a board meeting. All right, so what do we name? There's like a bunch of people sitting around. Okay, so
I mean, it's
Delta
probably,
has the
some business suit
meaning,
was like,
though.
yeah, Delta. Delta sounds like some kind of cool fantasy, not fantasy, sorry,
Metaphoric,
action
symbolic.
spy thing that kids won't understand that will sound cool. Yeah, let's do that. It sounds like some military thing. It is a military term, but it's used as a replacement for
Delta,
E.
we hear it all the time. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go on ahead and do this one. We're not going to go do.
It should have been Metal Gear Gamma. Actually, sounds kind of cool. That's the third.
Oh, they're saving it. They're saving it.
I mean, that'll be the remake of 4 because
there you go.
I don't want to spoil anything. I don't know who people's played that.
I haven't. You told me a lot about it though.
You don't really play 4 actually. You just watch the movies. I mean, there is gameplay between them, but it's like all of like 12 seconds. It's such a short.
How is that different from now?
Shut up. Yeah.
What are we doing with this? What?
I don't
movies,
know, man.
Movies only.
Metal Gear Solid 4 really feels like a movie. There's literally a 90-minute cutscene in that game.
This game has had a 90-minute cutscene.
It's a 60-minute cutscene, isn't it? And is it entirely voice acted?
It is. Yeah, it is entirely voice acted.
Okay. This Roland fellow just walked up.
Hey, Roland, what's up?
What? Roland, oh my gosh.
Roland.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
It's freaking awful.
What? Sorry, okay. Are we still doing this? Or are we going to the 80?
Let's just do this. Let's just do this.
I was while we were talking, I was trying to find out what that symbol is. I still haven't found it yet. I have no idea.
Doesn't matter.
We'll find out now. I wish Valamir was on. He could tell us. He'd be like, "You guys are so stupid. It's nothing."
I think it's just saying entering into here will take us to the thing. And
I bet it means you're going to ascend to the roof of this area. Or maybe it's like a teleport. Like you're going to be teleported to an instance.
Yeah. All right, here we go. All right, you're the XR. Have fun.
Welcome, my friend. Wait, is he British?
He's alternate version Alfino. That's what we're going with at first. If that helps you.
Because I thought he was. That's right. Welcome, my friend. Tales of your heroism on the battlefield precede you. Enough, I confess, I found them more gladdening than surprising. I hear no few of our people have you to thank for plucking them from the jaws of death. Would they that had not needed saving to begin with? But the responsibility for that lies with me.
Don't give up. There's a random soldier who said that.
One of our soldiers said that. Thank you. Oh, you remember what he said? Good for you.
Yay.
Rest assured that I fully intend to continue our work. I will not shrink from what must be done. Now, least of all. Though I mourn the loss, I will not lose myself to grief, and even should regret be my constant companion, I will follow the path I have chosen to its end.
Don't lose your way!
It's not gonna turn back or change route.
We have some time for this ride, but to talk, I don't know.
I mean,
I'll do it if you'd like to talk. I'm a therapist, so let me do my job.
I'll also be committed to things blindly. Let's do it. Of that, I have no doubt. And if ever we should appear, it's probably different, right?
Yeah, it's different. Finish yours, sorry.
Yeah. All right. And if we ever should appear to falter, it will only be because we are fatigued after a battle well fought. And yours is, and if I were to confess any doubts I might harbor, no one need ever know. No one need ever know. So he's asking, should he need to explain himself? Interesting. Okay. And then your dollar is still different. Okay, I'll continue with yours. No, I believe you have enough burdens within my aiding. Without my, sorry,
it's very small. I gotcha.
Without my adding to them, nevertheless, thank you. It's like kind of blurry because I'm pixel eyes because I'm not full screen with your video. That was the end of yours, is it?
Yep.
It fully is over?
Oh, yeah, mine's over. Crap. Read yours quick.
For mine is, I thank you for your kind words. Now, we have plans to make, do we not?
Okay, click.
And then, yeah, it's like synced really well. Your delay. Like, our videos are in the exact same spot. This is terrifying.
Heck yeah.
It's not, but you're ahead there technically because there's a delay.
Yeah, there's a delay for Twitch.
Yeah, the 10-second delay or whatever.
My friends, with your aid, we have weathered a brutal assault.
He does sound like Alfino. You're not wrong.
I really think it's Alfino.
Oh, God.
What if it's like our Alfino from the future and he came to this world to save
UFO Commander.
That's at least my kind of little theory I have going.
Sorry I'm late, though I would not have been had anyone thought to notify me in advance.
We don't consider you a friend.
As I was saying,
Oh
it was only
God!
with your aid that we weathered this assault.
What?
Without it, the Crystarium and all who dwell here would now be gone.
They just ignored him. As I was saying, they did like totally just cold shoulder.
For
He
each
doesn't
we
like
saved,
the Ascians,
another
so.
perished. If there is
Yeah.
anything else we can do to help,
He
anything
doesn't
at
have
all,
experience
you
with it. He
need
still
only
like him.
ask.
That's from what we
This is
know.
our home too, and we want nothing more than to keep it safe.
Thank you. We are blessed to have you with us. As for
Wow,
the
I
attack
could have fully
itself,
adopted this place.
Vorthri may call it divine retribution, but Sin Eaters are creatures of instinct. A coordinated assault is
It's kind of weird. Is he
unprecedented.
talking to himself right now?
Moreover, in the absence of a Light Warden, there should have been no compulsion for lesser Sin Eaters to congregate here en masse. All of which points to a single.
Oh
unavoidable
dang!
conclusion.
Yep.
Yet these minions of light answer to a higher power. He who did claim kinship with them, who did boast of control, not in idleness, 'twould seem, but in earnest. Lord Vorthri.
Yes, Vorthri, and that means if they can
Indeed.
only move.
What I mistook for bluster was in fact the truth. The Sin Eaters are his to command. But if he imagines this show of force will convince us to bend the knee, he is sorely mistaken.
If the Sea Eaters only move for the Light Ward, the big one, and he controls them, and it's like 100% like, oh yeah, that's confirmed here because they went way out of their way like this. He's definitely fused with like a Light Ward. Like something like that has happened. That's why his stature's so big and stuff like.
I wonder if he's like something bigger than a Light Warden, like he commands other Light Wardens too, because they were assigned to regions.
Maybe.
What if he's like a thing above that, like next step up, and he's controlling the other Light Wardens, and now that his Light Wardens are falling, he's going to step in.
I take it your meeting in Yulmore did not end well.
No, he's a little
You could say that, yes.
crapper.
But I am wiser for the experience, nevertheless. It appears he has mastered a technique which allows him to enslave the minds of others. A fact I discovered when he attempted to use it on me.
That would go some way towards explaining the peculiar reverence afforded him by his subjects. There may feasibly be a handful of true believers among them, I suppose, but it would not surprise me if the vast majority were in his thrall.
That's the thing.
Why
That's
did
the thing.
Alfie
No, that's true. Well, he never went before him. It was just us, I think.
Oh yeah, it was always us. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And here's the thing. He's definitely a Light Warden. Remember, Light Wardens act like primals, where they enthrall.
Yeah.
And so he's enthralling the others. They're all becoming it.
Not converting them. Just making them as subjects.
He is converting them. That's what the Ascension is. Remember, they have that process whereby eventually you'll get to the Ascension. And remember, the girl's like, I don't really want to do that. And it's like, it's fine, you'll be there. And that they become that.
Yeah,
that is
makes sense.
exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
That's
right.
awesome. That's a good story.
But why is he not like the other Light Wardens where he's got a personality? The other Light Wardens are
I think he was a human who acted like a little beast, sold out humanity. He pulled a Cypher. Damn you, Cypher!
The Matrix?
Yeah, and he's like, I want my steak. I don't care if it's
he's
real.
He's not wrong. The steak is so good. Like,
gosh dang it! Don't be Jesse. Don't be like, I'd still owe you out for the steak. Okay.
That dude eats a lot of steak too. Valtteri?
That's a lot of steak.
That man eats a lot of steak to be that big.
Vitruvian, are you buying five?
They're feeding him whole cows, honestly.
Oh god, he is a cow. He's a freaking cow. Are you buying Final Fantasy 16 day one? No, it's on PS5. I don't own a PS5.
Is it only PS5? How long is that exclusivity?
At least a year. At least a year. That's what they said.
A year?
Yep.
Man,
that's what they said. I'll watch Jesse Cox play it. Jesse Cox, I'm putting up someone else on my stream. Go watch Jesse Cox. YouTube. He's a great guy. He's fun. I don't agree with everything he says, but he's very funny. Go watch him. He's going to play it.
Get my money is all I can say to that.
Some good experiences. I know it's good. I would play it with Daedalus. He would love it. But I'm not buying a PS5 yet. I'm waiting for Kingdom Hearts 4 or whatever else is going to be on it that I'm going to have to buy at some point. Or no, you know what it is? Final Fantasy 7, the second part of the remake is going to be on PS5 only. That's what I'm going to buy it. Because I played the first one. I want.
A limited time PS5 exclusive.
Yep. Kingdom Hearts is probably 25, right?
6 months exclusivity window, apparently. The latest trailer revealed that.
Okay, 6, that's not bad. Okay.
May 25th. Yeah, that's pretty standard nowadays,
that's
honestly. When
fine. Honestly, guys, if it's May 25th, it's May 25th of next year? That's not bad.
So, no, we're available. No, May 25th is when they announced this year. May 25th, they there was a trailer as of May 25th that said this. The game comes out June 22nd.
Yeah,
PS5,
so that means
and
that
at the bottom of that trailer, it said not available on other platforms until December 31st, 2023.
Yeah, see,
so
that's
that
not bad.
At the earliest, it could be available on other platforms on December 31st.
So we're looking at February.
Probably means it may probably. Well, I mean, it's not like a release date technically. It's not like, and they might have the game ready before that. Even they have a time exclusive because Sony paid them exclusive. Yeah. So they probably have the game ready already, or they will be able to wrap it up.
When does Epsilon? Look this up for me if you can. When does Final Fantasy VII, the second part of the remake, come out? It was announced. That was part.
Yeah,
of
I know. I agree. It was. I don't remember now. Thanks, Google. April 10th, 2020.
That was the last one.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to get
Rebirth, I think it's called. I can't remember.
It's part 2.
Vitruvian, Kingdom Hearts is probably 25, right? I mean, no, not 25 years. No.
The only actual hard date.
It said something. It gave a time frame. I remember that.
For PlayStation 5 in winter 2023. For the best answer from Square directly apparently is early 2024, but now as of like June 2nd, they said supposedly winter 2023, but there's no hard date yet apparently.
Yeah, okay. We'll see. Like, I have to buy a PS5 for that anyway, and I need it at some point. So maybe I'll buy it. It won't be around release, guys. We got to do Kingdom Hearts Chronicles. That's happening. And then we got to do Pokemon and some other stuff. And I'm going to do the new idea. That's happening too. Don't worry, that'll happen at some point. But maybe, because I was thinking, Dadless and I don't have a new game. 16 could be it, because it's very cinematic.
Did you see System Shock got a re-release recently?
I've watched Jesse play part of it. I was not impressed. I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
It was okay.
It looks trippy, like the first game, like the original game was, but... yeah, I don't know if you didn't like it.
It looks like a lesser BioShock to me, which is what it was because it was the first one.
Yeah, the Verge said that Final Fantasy Rebirth will be early 2024 still.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how much I trust the Verge. They don't do a lot of things right, so
it's still a ways off, though, is the point.
Yeah, so it may be. Yeah, maybe I doubt they would coincide the release of that with 16 with other consoles, even that, even though it's been out for a while. Having it come out at the same time. And then the other thing is, I think maybe that release in early 2024 is actually for just the PlayStation 5 release of it. It seems like Sony really got Square to go in for them.
Oh yeah, they got it hard. That's why
sticking into Microsoft bad is all this really is, because Square was making stuff for Xbox for a while, or for Microsoft particularly for a while, even making PC releases that were Microsoft PC centric. So. Mm-hmm.
Vitruvian, the Liza P demo went up a couple days, pretty good. I did see the stuff about that. Epsilon, that's the Pinocchio one that was Renaissance Dark Souls. I did see that. It did look pretty good.
I still can't remember the name of that game. I made a joke. It's what's it called? The Masquerade, the vampires.
Oh yeah, Vampire Masquerade or whatever.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, but with a puppet instead of a vampire.
Yeah, it looks good. Like, I'm not against it. I definitely will look at it.
Same thing, but.
The problem is, the Kingdom Hearts Chronicle has to be finished, guys. I've started it. It was, by the way, today. I think it's today. Today is the 2-year anniversary when we started that crap. It is finishing. All right, I'm getting this done.
I mean,
it's dying.
You have a precedent. Almost done. Taking 30 years to do anything with that franchise. Don't worry about it. You're doing way better.
That's the thing. We finished this, and then I don't have to worry about it again until 4 comes out, which will be 5 years from now.
I mean, you're not listening to my point, though. You have so much more time to catch up to it. The more
I know, but we're right in the middle of it, so it's to finish it. Because then it's out of my brain. And then I want it done before the new idea happens. Because that's a new way of doing stuff, and I want it done. Because it's the last big thing. And then, whenever that happens, we can move on.
Where does the PS5 alternative console coming out? The new, whatever the...
Yeah, when is that? Surely that's going to be out.
Again, when that happens, you could just get the old PS5 on a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
Because I doubt they'll release the PS5 Pro, whatever they end up calling it, the second version, and calling it like a. Making it like $100 more than the original. I doubt they'll make the money. They might bump. It might become the $500, and then
the other one becomes like 400 or 350 or something.
I'd say probably probably 450, and then they'll have the digital version that's still 400. They might do that kind of price point. But then you're still saving $50, and you might want to find it on sale somewhere like Black Friday or something. Even
if it's only that much cheaper, I'll just buy the new slim one. I don't care. It's fine. I can afford it now.
I imagine they probably can't go to where the original PS5 is 400 because they probably lose too much money on it still.
Probably because it's actually
good.
I've noticed. I'm like, oh wait, this is actually like pretty decent. What graphics card is it running? Like a 300 series?
What?
Is it running a 300 series?
It's
or equivalent. Equivalent.
It's you have a 30 series from Nvidia.
Yeah, is it running something equivalent to that, like what I have?
I mean, it's an AMD. I forgot what it is now, but no, it's like a. I'm pretty sure it's like a AMD APU architecture they use technically. Let me look it up.
Yeah, but like I only know the other one, so I'm trying to have the equivalent so I understand relative wise.
When it's an APU, it's very different. That's the integration. It's like a laptop with the graphics integrated more than anything else, but it's much higher power than normal, like higher wattage.
So is it like as good? Like how does it turn out?
I mean, the quality is good. It can do 4K 60 FPS, and still play games at like.
So at 1080p, it should be able to 60 FPS.
It's an RDNA 2. It's an RDNA 2 architecture, so it's like equivalent to. I'm trying to think. I guess it's like closer to. It's definitely at least a 2070 or 20 series super card, like the 2070 or 2080 Super.
That's pretty low.
With RTX, it's not the same. That's not that low. It's about like those are like
we're on 390.
That the number does not designate the capability just because it's.
I thought that's how it worked.
We're on a 4090 right now, by the way.
Yeah, and I thought that meant it was super good.
The difference in capability is not that. No, like the difference between like I was just reading the other day, the difference in the new 4060 Ti coming out versus the 3060 Ti, which I have a 3060. That's what I use. Mm-hmm. The difference in those is like 12% increase. It's not even.
Well, like, then why?
Because the newer generation, it gets slightly better. Like there's it's incremental improvement. You don't have to get every generation. You should not be buying. No normal person.
It's improvement, but it's like real small.
Usually, yeah. I mean, it depends on also like what. Like if you're talking about mid tier, yeah. If you're talking about the high end, like it can be a massive improvement from generation to generation. But it's also the one like right now for the Nvidia, for the 4090 is $1,500 or $1,600 base. Like that's what the original one is. And then if you buy an OC version from another manufacturer, that's gonna probably be $2,000, like easily. I don't know. I think our buddy Mr. Steadyman, I think his was like 17 or something, or 16 or 17 for his, somewhere in that range.
But you're
got one of the ones. Anyway.
I think I'm gonna sell my Switch and a few physical games I have for it. Perhaps use it to upgrade to PS5 Pro. I like the Switch. I know it doesn't function well, but I like what it does. It has good games, but I do get it. How much can you get for it, though? I don't think the Switch will sell for that much at this point. Right?
I don't think the resale on it is I mean, it's not like 80% of the purchase price, but for an older one, it's been around. Like you have to consider the battery loss, and then if there's any physical wear and tear on it from playing it portably, potentially.
But yeah, is the PS5 Pro actually a thing then?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of insider leak, like there is something coming. I mean, there's that handheld device they announced that's
that thing.
Basically, it's your phone with a better controller built into it, and then the remote play. And then there's been some there's definitely something physically has happened. There's hardware spec being passed around in like the hardware development group that has been kind of leaked out to some of the hardware leakers. So they know there's something being made. We just don't know what it is exactly. It could just be a slim model. It could be a Pro. It could be both. I don't think there's anything officially announced by Sony yet for us to know. I haven't heard anything yet official.
Maybe we'll figure it out.
Yeah, the PS5 original has a AMD Oberon, which is 7nm build with 2,304 shader units running at 22. The clock cycle does not matter. Clock speed is not a good estimate of the capability. It also draws 180 watts of power, which is pretty high for a CPU. Most CPU, I mean, around that time, I guess they were getting like to 160 kind of common on like desktops, so it could happen. But like, especially with like overclocking, you could get over wattage if you wanted as well. Not typical, but you could. I think this article.
The
article says this is equivalent to a 3070. The PS5 capability that's without ray tracing. Without ray tracing, I believe it's equivalent to 3070, which a 3070 is basically a 2080 Super.
Yeah.
Without the ray tracing on, it's about the same. So that's what I was trying to say before. It's pretty similar.
Vitruvian, OG Switch has a $121 trade-in at GameStop. Wow. Okay, that's still pretty decent.
That's actually, I mean, GameStop does give you money for content. It's the games they rip you off on. That's not too. I mean, when you consider if you only spent $300 for a Switch, or is it $350?
It was like $350 or something. I know it was above $300.
Oh, I might be thinking of the Lite. The Lite was $300, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have one, but I remember seeing that price recently. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's $400, and $120 is not. I mean, if you're not going to use it, don't let it lay around. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got to use it.
I constantly play. I've been playing Breath of the Wild, crazy.
Yeah, because you're
mentioned it's not
for the big one.
Yeah, ready for Tears of the Kingdom finally. My wife has beaten it ages ago, and she wanted me to get to the end, which I just did recently. So
Breath of the Wild, not Tears of the Kingdom.
Breath of the Wild. Yeah. We just got to the end of Breath of the Wild, so I got to the end of Breath of the Wild, so I can finally. I'm gonna watch her play Tears of the Kingdom at least at the start because I bought one copy, and I'll probably help her out because I'm apparently better at combat than she is, but I don't know how it's possible. I suck. But
Vitruvian, there were reports that Sony is shipping PS5 Pro dev kits to first-party studios this summer and some third-party parties later this year.
Okay. That's some insider tips that I definitely haven't read that part, but that makes sense. If they said PS5 Pro.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Like there's gonna be an obvious if they're bothering some new dev kits, then the hardware has to be improved. Because it's the Slim, it'd be the same hardware, it'd just be cheaper for them to make it, basically, or it'd be a smaller profile so the end user would like it.
If that's true, I'm definitely not getting a PS5 right now. Heck no, I'm waiting.
Wait for the Pro. Yeah, because I got the PS4 and then I got the PS4 original, and then the PS4 Pro came out, and I was like not even I think 3 months later or something when I got mine, and I was like, I can't play some games. And then I was in some betas like Elden Ring, and Elden Ring on the PS4 was the jankest nightmare I've ever seen. And when I watch people play on PC, it still plays smoother than when I played the beta. I'm like, this is on bad PCs. When you were having problems, it's still more playable than when I had the PS4. And I'm like, this is unbelievably bad. How can they even consider saying this is playable on a PS4?
I want to remind you that Cyberpunk's 2077 occurred as a situation and release that was available for PS4.
Oh yeah, that had mass refunding though. They actually it took a few weeks, but they did eventually. I mean, that game was catastrophic on the release. It was a rush job, and the corporate meddling, publishing nonsense. That's not fair. Elden Ring was more of Namco was it is playable, kind of just see what you think.
So Vitruvian, Pro is rumored to be late 2024.
All right, okay. So you'll play Final Fantasy 16 and at least by then.
I'll play it on PC because it'll be out there first.
Yeah, if it comes out in the spring of 2024 for PC, then just get on PC.
Yeah. Let's sit here. I mean,
I'm not a fan anymore. I mean, I used to get every console from Sony, and now I'm kind of detachable disc drive model?
Yeah, this falls detachable disc drive model and the handheld. I know about the handheld. I know about the detachable disc drive.
Disc drive is cool. So instead of having to open it up and pull out the NVMe drive that's in it, the little blade. It's not like a disc drive, like a hard drive like we used to have, or even like a SSD that's the same size form factor. It's the NVMe's that are much higher speed transfer. They're capable of being much higher speed transfer. Instead of making you have to take the outside panels off the PS5 right now to get to it, and there's a little socket. You have to unscrew a cap and a little cover and a cap. You have to pull it out. This will be externally accessible. That's a good idea for them because if you're running out of space, especially, it's definitely a lot more user friendly to not have to do that. But
absolutely.
Yeah, I can see that being a good thing to get improvement to get out of it. But I was gonna say, as far as getting consoles, I'm kind of over consoles now. I mean, they're so close to PCs at this point. There really isn't much of a difference. I'd rather just invest in a better computer and play a bigger swath of games. And also with Sony releasing a lot of their exclusive games, like on a delay to PC, I don't see like the long term. What's the point of going with a console that eventually the console's not going to get work or not get service, not going to be able to play on anymore, and like the service that like it relies on networking wise will be off. I won't be able to turn it on probably in the future the way they run things. I'm just going to go with PC from now on, much as I can. Like, doesn't make sense.
Okay,
I also like of those companies like saying, "Screw, we'll make hardware and sell it." So that you can have something to work on if you don't know how to make a computer. That's fine. They should totally keep doing that. But they should also just release to whatever system you're on. Like, I mean, if Sony made like a Steam competitive software, like a launcher, I guess I would go for it. I don't care. I'll get it and start playing on it. Like, not like a streaming cloud gaming service, but like if they let me like download their games service directly instead of going through Steam, off of it. That's fine. Like, let me use that. Did I lose you?
No, but you did kind of cut out a little bit there.
I lost.
Can you hear me?
Headset disconnected. Sorry, 1 second.
Okay. But yeah, so yeah, Vitruvian. I mean, I'll play 16 later on. I'll probably do it with Daedalus maybe if he wants to, but it will be later because I'm not going to be as high for a while. Because look, I may make a lot more money now, which is good, but I need it for the new idea, as well as other things in my life too. Because I'm going to be moving. That will be happening, by the way, soon. Like in fallish, and because of that, I'll need to pay more.
You're also moving to say, oh, you have to pay more for your rent. That sucks.
Yeah, it's not
you'll
too
also
much.
be saving money because you'll be closer to your job, right?
Yes,
there's like a balance
I will,
there, right?
And so the gas will not be near as much. It still will cost more in the long run. It will.
Your drives sound awful.
It's 30 minutes minimum. Well, technically 27.
Yeah, but you're not even physically that far away. That's the part that makes me mad. I don't know why the city is so bad about that. Anyway, I mean, it's not like that everywhere else.
True.
Not for the distance going.
All right, you ready? We got Alfie now.
Yeah, I guess we can.
Though it's been no surprise me if that's before, but it's thrall. Yeah. So basically, back to the story. It was he's a light warden and he's doing the enthrallment. And that's why we don't care because we have the thing.
Had I not anticipated his treachery, I might well have joined them. But seeing his invitation for what it was, I sent a glamour in my stead.
Yes.
I rather doubt such tricks will avail me a second time, however.
Yeah, because he did the spoilers for Star Wars Last Jedi. He pulled my finger goes down whenever the spoilers are gone. He did Anakin's final stand for good astral projection. Everything okay, Epsilon?
Wait, what?
Right there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Okay, so
I want to make sure.
I was listening to the dialogue from the game. What were you saying about Anakin?
Nah, shh, not Anakin. I meant Luke. My bad. But shh, don't say it. Spoiler.
Okay.
Did you have any luck tracking down the light warden in Calicia?
Sadly, I have nothing to report on that front. What of Armorang?
After a fruitless few days scouring ruins, I resorted to asking the locals. While no one I spoke to had seen any sign of the warden, I did uncover a possible lead. An abandoned mine in western Armorang. From what the Mord told me, it would be a perfect place to stay out of sight. Of course, I could never hope to explore such a labyrinth quickly or safely on my own, so I returned here.
Coward.
Even should we all join in the endeavor, an exhaustive search could take weeks. And with no guarantee of finding anything.
Is this going to be a duty?
Dun, dun, dun. I like to do the cha-cha.
The Wardens harbor vast reservoirs of primordial light.
Every time Alice said meringue, all I could think was she was going, meringue, like the type of dessert.
The meringue.
And isn't it true that the Oracle could see the light of a scimitar from miles away?
Dessert, not like
surely a Warden would seem like a blazing beacon by comparison.
Yes, Minfilia, use your powers.
To the real Oracle of Light, I mean. The real Minfilia.
Not me, because I'm not good.
You get in the corner.
Oh, she's saying I could give myself up to have Minfilia take me over, because that's
if we travel to Armorang, to the south where she halted the flood, I could summon her back.
Ah.
What do you think?
Oh, so she's never been to Almaran, I guess.
I'm gonna do the whole let myself be possessed by her and bring her back. Bye-bye.
Don't what? Don't. Do what I can. What we both know is right.
Do not presume to know my mind. You have no idea what you're proposing.
But I do.
Get in the corner.
I know why you never said anything. Because you thought you could keep me safe by keeping me in the dark. And maybe I thought so too. But I knew, Thancred. I always knew.
Well.
My daughter, you go to the thing. Go to the corner right now. This is a round room.
I thought you were a rather underwhelming reincarnation. But it all makes sense now.
This freaking guy.
Look at this dude.
I thought you were rather underwhelming. Ah, you suck. You're a sucky version. The real one's not here. Ah, I see.
No, he's saying the real one. Yeah, the real one's not even here.
The Oracle lies dormant within you, doesn't she? But to draw on her true power, you must become one, both body and soul.
Oh,
to wit,
so
one being must consume
is that what he's saying?
the other.
Yep.
Technically, the current Minfilia, the living one in front of us, could just take on the other one's powers and just take over.
They talked about this before. Yeah, where it's like, remember the real Minfilia took her over for a moment and said, "Hey, Thancred, don't worry about me. Look, you're gonna raise this child. She's gonna be great." And he's like, "Well, what if you just came?" It's like, I would take her over and she would not exist. We're not doing that.
But what about the other way around? Like this one could take over the other one, like replace her.
That's what's happening right now. That's what it is right now.
Itself is saying like they could, it could go in the reverse direction.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna do. Like real Minfilia will come back and take this one over. It doesn't matter.
No. You're hearing me wrong. I'm saying this girl, the child here, could take over the other one. Is what Emmett said. It could be one or the other. He said either way.
I thought that's how it is right now. I thought that's what's happening right now. She's the one in control. She's the one taking over.
She's in control of this body, but their souls aren't bound. He's saying that when they combine, and this one could take over and become the dominant Minfilia.
Yeah, okay. But the downside to that, and this is why Thancred's like, no, is real Minfilia's gone forever.
Yeah.
Even though she's gone anyway, but welcome to grief. Because
true and full reincarnation in the sense of no longer is she like this being beyond time and space. Now she's just erased, and this is the new one.
Yep.
It's a living Minfilia in front of us. Sorry.
No, you're good. No,
this doesn't concern you, Ascian.
Oh god, Thancred's like the bile, the freaking poison type toxic just coming out.
But it plainly concerns
Ghost is resumed.
Which is why your heart is ready to burst out of your chest.
Don't forget I'm the bad guy.
Despite the raging tempest in your bosom, however,
here.
You have never once opened up to your young charge. Now, why would that be?
You're not being very fellowship open, are you? I thought good guys did that. Let me poke the bear more. I'm ephemeral. You can't touch me. Good luck with the fallout.
Yeah, he's actually a good analog for another gamer, basically another player of a game, because he can't be touched.
Look at him.
He can interfere with all the stuff happening, has influence, but he's not able to be hurt or do anything happen to him.
Oh, love. Oh, the most powerful.
Well, I, for one, think it's a marvelous idea. Certainly more promising than any of your other suggestions.
I like the young girl's idea. Don't put her in the corner.
So, it's off to Armorang we go.
Come on, vamonos!
I don't
Everybody.
like him, he's pushing the story forward, so I guess I'll tolerate him. Oh, we're doing it.
I'm going in the corner.
I guess we don't have a better plan, so I guess we're doing it.
We're doing it. Bye-bye, Minfilia. You gone. Little Minfilia's gone. Little Minfilia's back. My original girl!
What if it's what I said? That Emmett kind of hinted at, and it goes the way, and we actually get rid of the old Minfilia, and this is the new one. Why?
Nah.
We have to talk to Minfilia now.
I'm going to be gone soon. I'm sorry to be so insistent, but I know this is the only way. If you're willing to give me a chance, come with us. Offward to where I'm not going to be.
Emmett, show up. What are you doing? Are you never go tired of
the merengue? We're going to go do the merengue.
So they ask me. Ask. Oh yeah, tell me about Zodiark. Oh my god, we should talk to him. Tell me about Zodiark. Tell me about your master. Tell me about the overarching big bad. As I told you before.
Oh, you can talk to him?
Yes, you
What?
can,
I didn't talk to
sucker!
him. I come back because I left.
Zodiac is a creation of my people. The first people. The best people. We summoned him, as your kind might summon a primal, albeit an infinitely more powerful one. And like one of your primals, he tempered us. It is only natural. There is no resisting such power. We are tempered beings. And so we Ashes came to existence solely to bring about the rule of darkness. His darkness. The greatest darkness. I love him. Of course, some of us would call us evil for it. They would be fools. Evil is relative. That's not true. Biblically, that's not true at all. Though that is only to be expected given their innate inability to conceive of the nature of our universe. I believe I repeat myself. Do you not seek to me honestly? Do you catch me in an eye? Really, I have no need of deception. Even if I did, I show you. You'd be quite indistinguishable from the truth. Because I don't care. I'm ethereal. Good luck, suckers.
Why'd you have to embellish that?
Have fun!
This is actually that's not fun. I want to actually know what he had to say because I had to actually read. Hard to tell what he said, what you were just adding on.
He just said what we knew before.
Yeah, he didn't give me any info. I got that. It's kind of sad. All right.
Has it been 7 weeks since you've done that quest? Here, let me remind you.
Wait, what? Where do we have to be? Right here? Right here.
No, we have to be all the way out to the end.
Wait, where are we? Oh, the other end. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the other end of everything.
My bad. I thought we were in the same courtyard as what it was saying to go to. Let me scrub the map. I realized where my indicator was.
Alright, we'll talk to Philly and then we'll pretty much stop there because it has gotten late.
Oh, it's 7. Wow.
Everyone enjoyed the podcast?
We did so good last week. We did 2 duties.
We did good the past 2 times.
Side quest but this time we did a lot of talking, so we didn't make much objectives.
Ah, yes.
Game,
and
so.
Vindictus and other games drift further out of our reach.
That's why I said 300 hours at the start of the stream.
We can stop at any time.
I mean, if you want to just take a break random, I guess. I mean,
no, we need to finish
this. If
we
stop this week, we'll have to pay for the next 6 months.
We need to finish this.
Sorry for the wait. I'm ready now.
I don't know. Which one do you want? No, what do you want?
I mean, I'm questioning her. I don't like either one. I just want to just do it. I don't care if she dies. I don't have any stake in this.
It's so sad.
Where's my third option of let's go get you killed, girl?
Like, no. What about all the bad? Okay, I'm not going there. All right, I said we're gonna bring it up again. I don't know. There has to be another way.
So yeah,
there's always a third choice.
Are you concerned with her lack of resolve, or are you just want to do something different because you want to keep her?
I want to keep her, the hero. Yeah, there's always a third option.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that she's sure.
Right. Look, no matter what happens to me, I'm sure that I don't want to go back to the being who I was. I can't take the corner anymore. I want to be stronger, strong enough to face my destiny, and I want to believe that I can play a part in saving this world. I'm no longer a little child in the corner. I will be an adult, rising to the occasion.
It's totally raining down here. Sorry.
Yeah, mine's thundering, so.
I hope you can find yourself to believe me too. Okay.
Oh, robot, engage.
When you put it that way, how could we not?
Jeez.
She's not physically a robot. She's. It is your decision to make. Just be sure that you are prepared when the time comes. What's elaborating? Okay.
Alright, RJ, have fun.
If all are assembled, shall we depart?
I thought, okay, I looked at his line, I didn't read it, I was just like, okay. I looked at it, and when you said the line, I was like, no, it's if we are all assembled, shall we? And then I realized, no, you read it right. It's just RJ. If all are assembled, why are you like this?
I mean, that sentence structure is like Yoda, so it worked for me, I guess. I can kind of follow it at least, but whatever. We'll follow your lead. What route would you have us take? About that, there's something I neglected to mention. Why is every character me here? Holy crap.
Have fun.
I saw your Morian airship coming in to land over Armorang while I was on my way back to the Crystarium. No doubt the same vessel that bore Varthru's forces to Raktika.
meaning we can expect to encounter armed resistance on our journey through the region, as per usual. Remember with fairies? Remember when that was a thing?
I kind of don't miss that, so whatever. Right. Now Nabeth Arang lies in the southern reaches of Amarang, but that's not spelled the same. How's it pronounced? Is that whatever? And there are 2 routes we can take to get there.
Oh, okay.
Crudely drawn map. The first
That's just
is the eastern
map.
route. I mean, with the lines over it, though. Like, there usually our maps are more like enchanting and beautiful. This is just some like stupid crayon, someone or marker, someone drew one with. The first is the eastern route, which would lead us to past Mordsuk.
Good Mordsuk.
The other is the western route, which would require us to pass through the Hills of Amber.
That's the one we're doing.
I used to go. Come on, I'm not gonna read that out. Anyway. And then Philly and I took the eastern route last time.
Which means we're doing the western because we've never seen it.
Yes, that's the more well-trodden path. It also makes for easier traversal of the Nabeth Severance. But we can't use it.
Of course not.
If we did, we'd need to cross the Severance from a point nearby the inn at Journey's Head. If the Omorians caught wind of our approach, it could very well bring them into contact with the inn and its patients, and we can be sure that activities would not meet the Valkyrie's approval. Oh yeah, makes sense. It will make the journey more arduous, that's right. But I believe it would be safer to take the western route, which brings me to my proposition. While you make for the Hills of Amber in the west, I will draw the Omorians' attention elsewhere, to an area in the east that I know to be uninhabited. Diversionary tactics. That way, you'll have a chance at reaching Nabeth Arang unopposed and without risk to civilians.
I cannot deny it's a sound plan, but nor can I like to go alone. I don't need you for that. I'm an adult. My skills will make your task at least somewhat easier, will they not? I am a very grown-up boy.
Summons Carbuncle. Carbuncle goes in and distracts them. I will accompany you as well. It will afford us a chance to have a proper conversation. Oh yeah, she didn't mean to talk to the twins for a while, I forgot. And if I go with the others, I am likely to say something Thancred will regret.
Brutal, savage,
being,
wow, freaking wrecked.
I love his little head nod, that was pretty
funny.
Oh,
okay, sure.
Well then, we'll leave the work of distracting Valkyrie's forces to you. The rest of us will take the western route and try to avoid attracting attention. With that in mind, I think it best that we follow the roads from the bridges. We'll move faster with a solid path under our feet.
Nod.
We'll borrow a few Amaro for our own journey. I'll leave the rest to you, Menphilia.
Nod.
Thank you. I'll try not to disappoint you.
If you do, it's to the corner with you, young lady.
Seeking Light Warden's beacon, terminating Light Warden. I don't know why Menphilia's a robot now too, but it made more sense to her to be a Terminator the way she's acting.
No, she's a posh young lady.
No, she's a Terminator now.
Okay. Wait.
I was distracted.
Wait, is this... Wait. The best way. Okay, we're still on the best way. Okay, I was about to say like.
Yeah, we gotta go to Lakeland and talk to Thancred on the way there.
All right. Well, that'll be where we have to stop though, because it is too freaking late, and I'm not leaving this sanctuary and going out to the thing.
So yeah, we have to walk out in the middle of nowhere. Oops, I did not mean to do that. We have to walk out in the middle of nowhere in Lakeland. We haven't been to yet. Or we might have. We've
been to Lakeland, but we haven't gone down.
The part where we're gonna meet him, we have never been to south of the Exarch Gate.
Yeah.
And then once we get there, there's actually a physical connection to Almarang we have to go on. And then there, we'll actually go to the Twine, which we've never been to. It's on the two.
I see that, yeah.
November, and cut through that over to where the south of the Nabeth Arang, where the actual event is.
Okay, I see it. Okay, I see it.
So it's going to be a bit of a journey, so maybe it's a good spot
to be a journey.
All right. Okay, Epsilon, that'll be it for today.
Yeah,
when it comes,
we had some dialogues.
Yeah,
not much revelation, but whatever.
When it comes to us moving on to the next one. Next week is a no. It's Father's Day on Sunday, and there's my little brother's birthday's on Saturday, so there's too much going on. But the week after, Sunday should be fine, which is, I don't know when that is.
The 25th.
25th, yeah, that'll be fine.
I will definitely be able to stream that weekend because wait, no. That one I need to check with my wife. I think that weekend we might have some plans, but I know the week after I will definitely be available.
Yeah.
That's the one you're going for, right? Are you going July 2nd?
Yeah, that July 7th one for sure is a yes. Second, sorry.
7th is a Friday.
Yes,
2nd
my bad.
Is for Sunday of July.
Yes, and that'll be, if I understand, well, we'll take a look and we'll see what happens on that.
Because that's the one I'm definitely available, but the week before that, I think I am. I'm just 100% certain.
Okay. So next week is a no. Week after is a maybe. Week after that is an absolute yes. So that's what we're looking at. And we're going to try and do it every week that we can because I have a vacation coming up that will cut off.
Yeah, you're going to skip 2 weeks, right, at least?
Yeah, I think so.
Those 2. Yeah, it's definitely one. I think it might be 2 weekends, sadly.
Might be 2.
And I don't think I have anything the rest of July that would keep me from being on.
Yeah, I think once we hit the later part of July, we should be fine.
And then August is probably pretty good for me too. And it might be like one weekend I'm kind of taking up. And then September will be a bit rough because that's like this family's birthday central in September.
Yep, it's your family's birthday, and my birthday's in there too.
Yeah, your birthday's there, and then also
my mom's
between us, and then my wife's family is like everyone's in 1 month. It's ridiculous. So
and your anniversary.
And our anniversary's in that month. Yeah, it's rough. September's a hard month. That's actually the reason why I probably won't be able to. I think the 17th, looking at the calendar, will probably be out of town because that's right around the anniversary. So, yeah. And then the rest of the year, who knows? It's too far away.
Yep. So
let's just plan.
Yeah, that's the first we got right now. That's pretty far out. Okay. Yeah. Best way out. Can you put it in Discord for me?
I thought you were just talking about how to end a stream.
Yeah, the best way out, guys.
I didn't know you meant the title of the MSP.
Best way out. Getting out of there.
The best way out is to say goodbye to.
Goodbye, farewell, auf Wiedersehen.
Say that you're transitioning from the game to just talking.
Yep, that's what's happening.
What is it? What is it called? I don't know.
It's just chatting. Yeah, just chatting.
Chatting.
It doesn't matter. Same thing.
And then you tell the audience, the lovely audience, that
you know it.
Yeah, I know the script.
You know the format. Look at you.
Reading scripts. I need direction. Throwback. All right.
All right. Epsilon, thank you so much. I love you. I will see you, and we will definitely see how things go, and we will hang out. And yeah. Okay. Goodbye.
Right, thanks everybody. Bye.
Boop. Okay, hold on. I gotta get to that. Boop. All right, there we go. Okay, so that'll do it for Final Fantasy 14. Woo! Yay! That's where we are. So yeah, as we said, next week is a no-go. Week after that should be fine. Might not. We'll see. And the week after that is one we'll definitely do, because the week after that I'm out of town. But yeah, so thank you so much for stopping by, everyone. This was Final Fantasy 14. As you can see, we make a lot of progress, and then we don't make progress, and this is why we're stuck here forever. We don't hate the game. We like the game. We just, we also do want to play some other stuff, and we will. We want to do some, and we're definitely going to do Vindictus. Final Fantasy 14, yep. We're going to do Vindictus Bad Wolf. Epsilon, sorry. Epsilon. We're definitely going to do Vindictus, so that's going to be one of the ones we try. But yeah, so if once again, thank you so much for coming by. When it comes to streaming, I know that I don't do a lot on the weekdays. I know you guys might have seen that. Work is just too much. It is. I get home so late on most days. But Friday, next Friday, for anyone who doesn't know, every Friday at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be doing the Kingdom Hearts Chronicles. We're going through Kingdom Hearts chronological order. And next Friday, we start Kingdom Hearts 3. We are starting the game proper. This is the beginning of the end. So 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Very exciting. Also, for anyone who wants to know, this past Friday, we did the recap of everything until 3. And I mean pretty much everything we know. A little abbreviated, but still took 4.5 hours. Those videos are now processed. I just need to put them up. I might even do one of them today. I'll see what I can do. YouTube just takes a while for it. So those will be out in the week, and then once those 2 are out, this will be out, this VOD too. So I'll try to get that out as fast as I can. It's just there's a lot to process and things. But yeah, so that's kind of like the plan. I know probably some of you, or maybe none of you, doesn't matter. You're called, are like, where's Daedalus stuff? That will happen. I'm actually thinking, because this coming weekend is Father's Day, the week after, not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday, maybe we'll do a tiered list dive. Something that he loves, something football related. So maybe we'll do that. I'll see. I'm trying to get my schedule so I can make sure to be home with him. That way we can start. And as for what games we'll play together, we'll think about it. I see what I can do. I'm not against it. It's just we've kind of been chilling and watching. We're watching Demon Slayer. And we got to do the new My Hero season. And also, sometimes I haven't been able to get home like I want to, and it's been a little So I'm trying to get that set so that I'll be good to go. And so I can get home easy and early, and so that we can start much easier whenever we stream with Daedalus, to make it so much easier for that. It might honestly be after I move, because that'll make it so much easier for me to be there like that after I'm done. So we'll see. Any suggestions for games with Daedalus? No, we have a few. If anyone has it with something, throw it in there. I'm serious. I do think that if that Final Fantasy 16 comes out and I can play it, that'd be pretty cool together. I've heard it's more mature. He might like it. Actually, I've thought about Persona 3, the remake, the really more Persona 5 level of details. The remake is coming out. He loves Persona. He loved 5. Maybe 3. 3 is my least favorite out of the 3. I don't dislike it. It is good. It's just I don't know about it, and Persona is very long, so I'm not sure. But we'll see what we can do. I'm not 100% sure about it. There's a couple on the docket. It's just Daedalus and I can only do it every week / every other week, depending, and we can only go for 2 hours at the absolute most. So I don't mind doing long games, but if we do one, it just means we're locked in, kind of. So you get how that works. I mean, you saw how long it took us to get through Bioshock, and Bioshock's not long, so we'll see. It's all on the docket. I'm trying to make sure there's a bunch of gears turning for the streams, including the new idea, which will happen in not too long, because I'm getting stuff done. I got stuff done today. I buckled down and did more things. Finally. Mist. I put about 17 hours into Persona and still haven't even gotten half the story. Oh, Mist. You sweet summer child. You sweet summer child. What are you playing? Which one? Because Persona 5 Royal with Daedalus, minus the grinding. Let me take the grinding off, because I did grind for a little bit on my own just to get us higher. It took us 120 hours. When Daedalus and we finished, he looked at that and said, "That's not right." And I said, "Yes, it is." Now, this is a guy who's seen me play every single Kingdom Hearts game outside of Chain of Memories and Recoded, so he's used to longer experiences, but still. 5, not Royal, though. Oh, not Royal? Oh, that's too bad. But then, hey, yeah, 5 is still very good. It is a fantastic game. I love 5. It has the best style. And if you play through 5, the 3 remake is coming out, and 3's good. 3's good. It's not my favorite, but it is very good. And if you have access on Steam, it's on Steam. Persona 4, well, that'd be kind of hard. The remake for 4 Golden is out, and 4 is fantastic. But I will say Golden is from 2017 or something, so it is a little more archaic looking, and that is very sad. I wish they'd redo it, but I bought the deluxe edition for $5. It was a steal. Oh, heck yeah. All right, yeah. If you got it, go for it. Absolutely. Congrats on your progress, Akers. Thank you, Absolutely. I'm doing it little bits at a time. I'm forcing myself once a week at least. So we're getting through. What I'm doing for the stream idea is coming together, and it will take a little bit because I've got a lot going on, but it will happen. It will happen. I have to get everything done on my side so that stuff I'm doing can be done on the other side. So, however you want to interpret it. Missed. But the 5 hours out of the 17 was me grinding and doing side quests. Hey, that's the game. No problem there. You're doing it great. You're having a good time. Do awesome. Little tip, and I had to tell Bad Wolf since I was playing, don't do the palace in multiple days. Choose a day, go through the entire palace. It saves time, it saves days. And that way you can build your persona up and fuse right before you go in. And when you come out, you're fine. Because remember, unless you're fighting in a palace or metaverse, you don't need to have strong persona. So you can just have whatever you're going to be talking to with the social links. Remember, you want the social link. You want a persona on you. It doesn't have to be a strong one. It could be a really weak one that's cheap to buy from the compendium. The compendium is your friend. That's where you spend the money. You can have the weakest one, but as long as they have the same arcana, the same type as the person you're talking to, you get a boost, and you want those boosts. So, all right. So before we stop today, though, I'm a believer of God's word, and I want to share a little bit of his word before we move on. Miss, I do over 2 days, one more explore, and leave the rest for a boss for a second time. Yes, you have to do it too because of the boss. Yeah, I'm sorry, miss. I meant the full exploration of one. You are correct. I'm sorry. You have to do 2 because of the way that works. Yes, you're good. You can play however you want, of course. I'm just like, if you want to metagame it. Okay, so today we will be talking about the next step of our journey through the Chronicles we're doing, and that's a different chronicle, through the Bible. We're going through God's word in chronological order, seeing his work in his people. And we've gone through everything in Genesis. By the way, in my own reading, I've restarted Genesis because I read all the way to Revelation in the end. Now back at Genesis, so I'm actually right before Abraham. So I'm right where we were back then, so it's kind of funny. So I went through Adam and Eve, Noah, Abraham, the first patriarch where God promised a nation. And that nation was born into Egypt because the family that the nation came from moved there. And after years and years in Egypt, we're talking 200 years plus or something, Egypt, the Pharaoh, who saw himself as a god because human idols, saw the fear of God blessing his chosen nation, becoming incredibly bountiful and blessed in his own nation of Egypt. And he's like, nah, we ain't doing this. I'm scared. I control, baby. So he beats down the Egyptians and says, you guys are going to be slave labor. You're awful and terrible. So God sees his people hurting and says to Moses, a fugitive from the land, and says, hey, Moses, I'm going to use you to bring my people out, to make a archetype, not only to deliver them from now present problems, but as a archetype pointing to the future where I will personally come and save all of you, all of humanity, from the great slavery known as sin and damnation that comes from such, which is that's part of the parallel. Old Testament connects to New. It always does. It's always a sign. So Moses is like, I don't want to do that. Heck no, I'm not well of speech. I'm terrible. I'm old. I can't. And God's like, I am the I am. I am the Almighty. You're not going to be working your own power. You're going to be working in me. But I meet you where you are. I have patience with you, everlasting. Get your brother Aaron. He will be your spokesperson, your prophet, if you will, as you are as God connected to me, the real God, and we will speak to the Pharaoh. So God is sending a fugitive from the land and his brother to demand from the king of the land, the number one tyrannical dictator, to let the slave people of his kin go. So to put it in common terms, because I thought about this earlier, and I don't mean to step on toes, but just to give an analogy, that would be like someone going to Russia and with like Ukrainian like captives from Ukraine as like a runaway and saying, hey, let them go. You don't do this. Let them go. By my God. I mean, that's what we're expecting, right? So Moses is that. We're going into North Korea to tiny babby child and demanding to let the people out to allow for free trade and stuff. I mean, little Kim Jong bullcrap, freaking pull the trigger and shoot. So, I mean, you get the idea. Like, it's dangerous what he's asking Moses to do. He's like, you're going to go to the tyrannical enemy and say, let these people leave. And Moses is like, oh. But God's like, hey, I am the Almighty. I made this world, and I made him. I will be with you. I have not forgotten. And so Moses, trepidatiously worried, but having faith, even just out of a mustard seed, even small, walks forward to take it on. So the time has come, after all this preparation, after weeks of resentment and more pressure on the Israelites, after doubts and worries, finally Moses steps it up, Aaron with him, his brother, and God says, I'm with you. Let's walk. and goes for the first audience out, the first of many in the famous story that many in the world even know about, that will start an unprecedented and almost unmatched divine intervention show of power from the Almighty, claiming those he holds dear and loves as his own. And remember, this is an archetype. As much as the temporal deliverance here of his people is important, all it does is it's pointing to the Almighty and his Son Jesus coming to deliver truly to the people. And that is a full parallel, 100% seen fully in the Passover, which we'll get to. Remember the Passover, Jewish tradition? We'll get into where that came from and why it came. First, in this temporal reason, but pointing to something else. All right, so first audience, here we go, everyone. And the Lord said to Moses, "See, I have made you like God to Pharaoh, and your brother Aaron shall be your prophet." Now, God's not saying you're God now, Moses. No. Pharaoh was part of the pagan nations, right? Egypt was the biggest nation at that time, ancient world. We all know that. That's huge. So Pharaoh saw himself as a god. That's how all the pharaohs kind of work. That's how a lot of spoilers. That's how a lot of people with power see themselves. Even nowadays, Icarus, you ever see terrible tyrants and how they treat themselves and all the propaganda for it? Yeah, it looks like God worship to me. But no, it's politics. Same thing. It's the same thing. So Pharaoh sees himself as a god. So God is saying to Moses, hey, I'm going to make you, Pharaoh, I am making you my mouthpiece, direct connection to me, the Almighty. So Pharaoh sees you as he claims himself, as an emissary of the Almighty, as a God himself. You are going to go forward, giving worship to me as the source, but you will go forward as if I am there, as my avatar, and Aaron will be your prophet of spokesperson. As he met Moses, he's meeting Pharaoh where Pharaoh is, so Pharaoh will understand. Even for those God wants to reach out to but doesn't reach back, he will still meet them where they are because he still loves them and he still has a plan and will meet us where we need to be psychologically to do so. So he's matching fake God, servant, and avatar with Pharaoh's prophets because he has a lot of them. For real God's avatar and spokesperson of Moses, and prophet of mouthpiece. So they're matching it up. You shall speak all that I command you, and your brother Aaron shall tell Pharaoh to let the people of Israel go, like a prophet. But look, this is before they go see Pharaoh. They're about to do it. And Moses and God, knowing their hearts of like, well, what do we do? He's like, look, it's going to get bad. It's okay. I know it's going to happen. I'm going to give this information to you. Sometimes he doesn't give us what's going to happen. Sometimes he does because he meets us where we are. He knows Moses is worried. He's like, look, Moses is not going to let it go. I will harden Pharaoh's heart. And though I show multiple signs, miracles and signs are the same word. Look at those at the same word. A miracle is nothing but a sign. When God and Jesus do miracles in the New Testament, John, in his book, calls them signs. He doesn't call them miracles. He does that because a miracle is not the point, is the miracle. It's not the point. Changing sticks to snakes, what's about to happen, all that, is not the point. The point is, who does this point to? Look at the Almighty who's doing that. The heavens above, creation is a sign. It's a miracle because it points to the Almighty. I'm going to show signs through you and wonders in the land of Egypt, but he's not going to listen. Now, there's a difficult part of this verse that a lot of people have trouble with. And I do too, and I did for a while. It's still a little troubling, but it is important to note. God says here, I will harden Pharaoh's heart, though I multiply my signs. So wait a minute, whoa, God. You're sending your people before this Pharaoh guy, and you're asking them to let him go, right? You're asking him to let them go, right? But you're saying you're going to take this initiative to harden his heart, basically block his mind to be like, I'm not doing it. So you're fighting against yourself, and you're forcing his hand in a negative way. Like, isn't that counterintuitive? Isn't that bad? Here's what he means. The hardened heart is one of the most difficult things to understand in the Bible. And it's very, very difficult. And I still don't fully understand, so please go ask your pastor and stuff about that. Don't just take everything I say with my own words, all right? Interpretation is important. The Holy Spirit works through us. We all have, as creation, a conscience of right and wrong. But that doesn't come from us. We didn't do anything to make that. Our societal standards of right and wrong didn't come from us. Spoilers, we humans did nothing to make ourselves good. I always say that. I know it's a big gut punch to humanism and where we stand for progressivism right now. It's true. It's not us. He put in us a conscience, a little Jiminy Cricket, if you will, about right and wrong. He gave that to us as a mercy and gift. So even if we don't come to know his name and the Holy Spirit doesn't come upon us and hold us so we can grow, even without that, we can at least have a semblance of love and of right and wrong. So that even temporally, we can have mercies and blessings here, even if we don't have eternal in the end, depending on what we choose. But that conscience is God-given. It is mercifully given and not deserved to any human being. It also can be eroded away, as the New Testament talks about. There are verses about that. We've covered it here. It can be eroded away if we choose to. So there's that. That's true hardened heart. When God says, I will harden his heart, what he's saying is that conscience that is God-given, I am going to remove the hedges of protection from that conscience for the Pharaoh. Now, that does not mean the Pharaoh cannot because free will and predestination exist at the same time. How? Lord Almighty. It does not mean the Pharaoh does not have a place in hardening his heart. It is, I know he will harden his heart by the removed hedges, and he will do so by his own will because it's available. There's an important thing of human condition that the world does not hold, but is true. And as someone who's a therapist and works with a lot of clients and works for the betterment, even of those who don't have the Lord and the Almighty, and tries to work for what's good, and is possible because of that conscience and mercy given, there's still a truth that does hold. And I think some people, based on what I hear from people, I think people are starting to realize it a little bit more. It depends on the truth. We as humans are depraved by nature. Well, not originally. Adam and Eve were not. They were without sin. Once the choice was taken, sin came into the world, and we were dead in the spirit. Because of that, we choose what's best for us. We choose team our name, whatever our name is. We choose us. We'll do what's right for ourselves and whatever agenda we need for it. Even when we do what's right for someone else, we're doing it because it justifiably gets us something we want. Maybe we're fulfilled because we do something nice for someone and we feel that. Now I have a purpose in life, and that purpose fulfills us. Maybe we love our family because they make us whole in the best way possible and make us smile. We like that smiling. We want more of that smiling. Maybe we fulfill ourselves in whatever way. We do that for ourselves, which means, and I just reread Genesis, like the early chapters where Tower of Babel happened in Noah. What happened whenever God allowed the people to just go, we went so terrible that in Noah's time, besides him and his family, there was no one else on the earth that was righteous enough to be saved because they were all horrible. Because when it comes down to it, if we're left to ourselves, we will go to selfishness. And one argument I always have for that is think of a child. Think of a toddler. Think of a young child. When really think about it, not the Disney version of, I love it, I'm going to share, because no. Think of real toddlers. Real toddlers don't know sharing, love, and all of that naturally. What do? I want, I take, I act. They do what they need also to survive, but also what they want. They have to be taught what is right. The conscience is there to a degree, but they default to, but I want this. I want this. I want this. When we humans allow the conscience to erode, we become that. That's why I'll always say this. I won't spoil, but Undertale is one of the, in my opinion, is one of the only fictional series I accept two different timelines as reality in. I don't like time travel. If anyone was here for Friday, you know that. But it's one of the only ones because the two routes, if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. I'm not going to go too much into it, but the two routes show the ways humanity can go. The true route, the good one, can only be done with the Lord's love and mercy given anyway. The other route is where we naturally go. If we don't have restrictors, if there wasn't consequences, what would we do? It's where we go. It's like, well, this is a big, aren't we talking about Pharaoh? I know, it's another point. Pharaoh sees himself as a god. His focus is on himself. His heart is already eroded. The chapter before, out of bitterness and hatred, put slaves who were already discriminated, all the bad slavery stuff, and then said, you know what, out of spite, you guys have to get your own materials for work. But that's going to impede the work. I don't care. I don't even care about the work being impeded. It's not about that. It's about you suffering and me being honored. His conscience is already eroded. The only thing keeping him from full is God's mercy holding it. So by God saying, I will harden Pharaoh's heart, I'm removing that. I will, as the Bible says, I will give them away to his own desires, wherever that may go. True free will, which in true free will just leads the opposite way. Because true free will is about me. And about me is idolizing me. Or whatever I idolize for me. It's still me. In the end, spoilers, all idolizations for oneself. Ultimately, we still are the idol. Because whatever we're idolizing is for us. It's about us. Pharaoh is idolizing himself in his worship of who he is as a god. And God's seeing that and saying, I'm going to use this. By your will, Pharaoh, I'm going to allow that to happen because you choose such. And I will use this as the enemy, as the villain, to prove how my almighty might and worship for my people, and proving to them I can save them from anything. Because they need to know that. So that in the future, when things get hard and complicated, they will look back to me. So that they may see that perspective is everything. Not everything, but framing is important. We always talk about framing. So in order to help with the framing of the Israelites, to show them what they will be, and to set up the precedence of, I can save from anything. God will use the hardened heart that is already being done by Pharaoh and allow it to happen to move forward to allow salvation to be done. And I will multiply my sins and wonders, but Pharaoh will not listen, because I will remove that hedge, allowing him to just dive into his depravity for himself so that it can be realized in the perfect way for my glory and for all of your betterment. Then I will lay my hands on Egypt and bring my hosts, my people, the children of Israel, out of the land of Egypt by great acts of judgment. I will show these, not because I'm doing it to do it. I'm doing it to show I can bring my people out of anything, so that for the years and eons to come, you will remember this, so that you will remember me. Well, couldn't he just say that to Israel and that's enough? Why does he have to prove it? Let me remind you that 2 chapters ago, whenever God had already said, I'm going to do this for them, and they all were like, yay, 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 and then they got oppressed more by Pharaoh. Do you remember what they did? No, we never should have God come. This is all terrible. I knew it was awful. Oh, this was a terrible choice. And Moses was like, oh, I knew it was terrible. Oh, well, that was just a lapse. Once they know, they won't do that again. They won't lapse in faith. We have 40 years of wandering to do, and let me tell you how much they falter. But I say that about Israel, but it's not just Israel, it's all of humanity, myself included. We humans do not know what is capable of blessings until we experience it. Half of my job is this. Most of the people in my job I work with, spoilers, have the answers and way to do it. They just don't believe it or don't see it, and they're not framed right. Once they start doing it and see mercy given by the Lord, because that's where it's coming from, but see it happen, I can do this. Yeah, you could have done it the whole time. Not to hit on anyone going through therapy or stuff, but that's the point, is we humans have to. That's why Thomas gets a bad rap in the Bible, but we all are like that. We have to see to believe. God, his almightiness and objectivity of love is there, period, whether we see it or not. But he meets us where we are, and he says, okay, this Pharaoh's already entering into hardened heart. I will use this and allow him to be so, because he does not turn. And trust me, he gives Pharaoh multiple options too. He could turn, but I will remove my protection hedge of him being able, of me forcing him to turn. I will allow him to dive into his sin, because I will use this to show the perspective of my love for them and to prove, let me show you who I am as a God. I shouldn't have to, because I am the I am. It doesn't matter whether you accept it or not. Sky's blue. It doesn't matter, accept. But I will meet you where you are because I love you, and I want to show you how much I love and how much power and protection you have. So I will bring him by great acts. The Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord. It's a witness to them too. It's a mercy, because the Lord is salvation, and if we accept that fact, let's say we do, the Egyptians not knowing him is judgment towards them, right? Because if you don't know, then ignorance of the law doesn't make you oblivious to it. By Lord showing, I am the Almighty, you need me, the Egyptians themselves can go, oh, this is the real God, not this fake thing. And some of them may even come. I think some of them do, if I remember. When I stretch out my hand against Egypt and bring out the people of Israel from among them to make a statement for who I am and for the protection I can give. So, worried, but assured, and taking steps of faith, even small ones. That's all God needs. He doesn't even need it, but that's all he asked for. Moses and Aaron did so. They did just as the Lord commanded them, counted to them as faith. Moses was 80 years old. 80, guys. And as far as we know, fair enough, maybe I'm wrong. There's a bunch of interpretations for some of this stuff, fine. But from what I believe, and I truly do believe this, there are reasons why I won't go into it, he was 80. He was genuinely 80. People lived longer back then, know that, because of the way it was. I just went through Genesis and why it happened. And Aaron, 83. So these are two old men going up against the Pharaoh, the man, the tyrant. And they went to speak to him. So we got Moses and Aaron standing in front of this, on the earth, very head of a superpower, standing in front of him. He's not a nice guy. He's a tyrant, you know, Putin, Bin Laden, all the crap. And they're looking at him, and he's like, I know you two. You came before, and I told you to get to work because you're slaves of this nation, and you will, and now you're coming to me again. You better not say what I think you are. Lord said to Moses and Aaron, reminding them, hey, it's okay. When Pharaoh says to you, prove yourselves by working a miracle, because he's going to ask for it. You say to Aaron, take your staff and cast it from Pharaoh, and it becomes a serpent. Sticks to snakes, baby. I got you. So Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh like they were, and did just as the Lord commanded. Once again, faith. Whenever Pharaoh was like, you freaking, how dare you? And to show the power, Aaron cast down the staff before Pharaoh and his servants, and it became a serpent like that. Miracle, because God controls all of reality. But then Pharaoh summoned the wise men and sorcerers, his own prophets. And they, the magicians of the East, also did the same by their secret arts. They had power? Okay, there are two ways this could happen. One, smoke and mirrors. That doesn't exist in real life. Yes, it does. Oh my god, yes it does. In multiple ways. Or two, demonic activity. Good. Or smoke and mirrors. Humans can do it on their own. Each man cast out. Watch this though. Watch this though. Each man cast down his staff. They did it too, and they became servants. But even if it was demonic power, let's say that they had real power from something else, and there's only one other source. Let's say they did. But even if when it happened, Aaron's staff swallowed up their staffs. Aaron's ate it. His won. And I know it's like, that's a weird detail. Once again, everything's in here for a reason. It's a sign. The fact that they were able to use power or pretend to. And even when that happens, we're able to match you. Who wins? I am the Almighty. I eat this. No. Showing, guys, don't worry. Mine wins. I own this. Don't you worry. Mine wins. But even with that sign, even with his sign losing, Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he would not listen to them, as the Lord had said. Remove those barriers, Pharaoh keeps going. And that is the first segment of them going to Pharaoh and trying to let the people go. But it will not be the last. Oh no. Oh no. There is 10 coming down the pipeline, with the last being the big one. And we'll talk about that next time, because we just got started. And the Lord's like, I haven't even started to show my glory and amazement yet for my people. I'm going to ensure that you guys understand. I beat every source of fear that you have. Because spoilers, the 10 plagues are on their way. If anyone knows the Bible to any degree, you know the plagues. These plagues, spoilers, are reminiscent of, well, besides the 9th too, the 10th one too. Each plague is playing on one of the Egyptian gods. One of the embodiments of fear for the Israelites, because the Egyptian gods symbolize the Egyptians' power. We believe in these gods, and we are ruling over you, so obviously our gods are winning. Back in the day, still now really, whenever a nation would be over another nation, it would be understood that that nation's gods were the real ones, and they were able to win because their gods were real, and the other ones were silent or defeated. So by God using plagues matching each of the major Egyptian gods, including the last one, which is for Pharaoh himself, because remember, he thinks himself a god, each of them he shows, just like with the sticks to snakes eating it, I rule this, I rule this, I beat this, this is mine. These gods aren't real. I am. And I beat every single one of these. So don't eat them. So, with that being said, we will continue that into one of the most amazing and beautiful parts of the Bible in God's amazing work. Next time, we'll do that. But that will be probably 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now. So, there's that. Yeah, thank you so much. Vitruvian, sorry. Boom, Final Fantasy 16 demo tomorrow. Yeah, that's awesome. Woo, that's awesome. Mist, Vitruvian, Epsilon, everyone else, thank you so much for coming by. God bless you. I really appreciate it. It's good to see you guys. I love when you guys come by. I hope you have fun. I know this is mostly podcast with me and my cousin, but hope it's fun. Talk about some stuff. But yeah, what we're gonna do is actually I have someone. Jesse's. We're gonna do something else. I have someone named Kyrie. How do you pronounce his name? Oyama. She's doing Legend of Zelda. The Tears of the Kingdom. Epsilon, you might want to leave because you don't want to see this. She's actually playing it. She's a great streamer. She does a lot of fun things. So I'm going to go ahead and host her. So if you want to, feel free. We're going to raid. Sorry. We're going to raid her. And if you want to, feel free to stick around and say hi. And I will see all of you guys next time. But I hope you have a blessed day and week going forward and whatever you're experiencing. And I will see you this coming Friday for Kingdom Hearts Chronicle. God bless and goodbye. I didn't realize she was